What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Swolemates podcast with Joe
and Alyssa.
And today we have two special guests on. Fboy Island celebrity star, Mr. Michael DeKessian, and then beautiful girlfriend, Brooke.
Morgan. Don't forget to say her last name.
Morgan.
It's a brand.
Yeah. Sorry. So we really wanted to have you guys on the podcast because obviously you guys are Swolemates too. You guys met at the gym, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you guys? Okay. Go ahead. Let's just get right into this. Let's get right into this.
Get right into it.
So I got off the show and I made all these friends, and I was like, damn, I'm so lonely back home by myself. And I'm like, fuck, I need to go see some of these guys. And further the relationship, like the friendship that we've grown, over the last 2 months we were together. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I called Nikki, which was the guy who got me eliminated. I don't know if you guys watched the show or not.
I did.
Yeah.
I binge watched it. It was good.
That was like so out of nowhere, honestly. I was like, bro, like Nikki was going for blood. Yeah. It was just so random. Did you guys have beef on the show before then?
No. So Nikki and I did not talk whatsoever.
Damn,
he just came up with that?
Yeah. So he was like, I'm going to kamikaze somebody's ass. And like literally told the producers, is like, if I get eliminated, I'm going to take somebody with me. And I was doing so well on the show where he was like, all right, I'm going to take somebody and it's going to be whoever I choose when I turn around and look. So he pretty much just made eye contact with me. I was like, fuck. And he was like, yeah, Mikey D has a girlfriend. So the story behind that was I dated a girl like 2 months before the show. We started dating. And then they gave me the call in like January. They're like, hey, you want to be on the show? And I'm like, hell yeah. So I broke up with my girlfriend to be on the show.
Yeah.
Savage.
How did she feel about that?
She was upset. She called me a fucking loser.
Damn.
Look at you now.
I'm still a loser.
She was right.
No, but it was cool. So then, long story short, I was like super depressed when I came home because I was like, damn, like I don't have anybody with me anymore. Like I built this crazy camaraderie with these guys, and I was like, I need to go see somebody. So then Elon, I don't know if you guys know who Elon is, but he was from the show as well. He got eliminated the same episode I did.
He got eliminated for like not talking to anyone.
Yeah, so he went there for the
He's
vacation.
such an introvert. Yeah, he's such an introvert.
He literally went there for the free steak and the vacation.
Did he say that too?
On God, for sure. So he was like, he hit me up. Actually, long story short, I hit up Nikki because we became friends like in Limbro, right?
Yeah.
And I hit up Nikki and I was like, hey, I'm trying to make a clothing brand. Do you want to be a sponsored athlete? And he was like, no. And I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, I want to be a part of it. And I'm like, you already did have a brand, so you know like what to do logistically. Yeah. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So then he's like, I already talked to Elon about this. I'm like, who's Elon? I'm like, oh, no, I'm just joking. I'm joking, guys. Elon's a great guy. So he's like, I already talked to Elon about it. I want to do it with Elon as well. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, let's go. 3 ways. Let's go. It's going to make everything easier because when we have to make a decision, it's 2 versus 1. Yeah. 2 people are going to agree. Yeah. And then if that one person's out, it doesn't fucking matter. Even if they don't like it, it's going to go how it's going to go. Okay. So I came to Houston, Texas. I stayed with Elon in his house. This is the craziest story, actually. So I came to Elon's house for about a week. Uh-huh. Now, Elon never goes out. He's not a party guy. He's a very introverted guy. He likes his alone time, which is great, right? But he wanted to show Mikey D a good time. Okay. So we were going out we went out on a fucking Wednesday to this place called like Hayes or some shit. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. That shit was crazy. Like we went there and I was like, damn, I am uncomfortable as fuck. Who the fuck goes out on a Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesdays are sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we go there. Whatever, but Saturday we went to Clay, right? And we tried to get a table. So like it was when Marshmello was playing. I don't know if you were
there. Oh, yeah. I remember that.
So we get there and we're having this great time and I for sure got roofied. I don't know who would want to roofie me, but I don't know. All the guys that I went were from bartenders were guys. So the bartenders were only men. So I'm like, okay. One of them had to roofie me because I had 2 drinks and was blacked out. Like blacked out drunk.
Sus.
And I was like, damn, all right. So I lose my iPhone 13 Pro Max. Okay. Like
literally the Pro Max in there, yeah.
Not the Pro Max.
Yeah, the Pro Max, baby, that big screen. How you So I get my 13 Pro Max stolen, okay, because it was in my back pocket. Someone just fucking reached out and grabbed it in the crowd because it was so packed that night. I don't know if you remember, but it was like literally, if you didn't have a table, you were like packed sardines. So I get my phone stolen. I'm all stressed out because my phone's stolen. Okay, in the midst of this, Elon loses his fucking keys to his truck.
Oh my God.
Okay, so we had to get an Uber home. Okay, and Nikki lost his keys to his house, apartment. Right?
What a group.
What a group
What
of
a group of
delinquents.
guys.
Losers.
What a day. No, just kidding.
Okay, so then we go back to Elon's house, and he's like, "Wait a minute, my car keys were attached to my house key. Fuck, we can't get in my house." So he slept in his truck. I was pissed off already. I lost my phone. It was like $1,300. Then I had to sleep in his truck, which was terrible. And then the next morning we wake up and Elon's like going like around the bush, like trying to like figure out a way to get another set of keys. His parents don't have another set of keys. He doesn't know what to do. We're trying to figure out how to contact a locksmith on a Sunday. It was not working out. So I got pissed off. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I go in the back of his house, and I literally one time just teep kicked the fuck out of his door and just break the whole door down. One shot, boom. When I tell you, it was like a fucking movie. I thought I was fucking Iron Man for a second. Boom. I kicked this bitch in, fucking shards of wood everywhere. I'm like, fuck, this is amazing. And then I'm so excited because like I'm thinking Elon's gonna be so happy that I got into the house, and like all I broke was this door and a frame. Like, who gives a fuck? So I open the front. I got it, guys. Elon's like, "You motherfucker, what did you do?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? I got the door open." He's like, "How?" And he goes in the back, and literally like his eyes, I've never seen him so upset. His eyes literally started tearing, like the water in his eyes. And I'm like, "Oh, I fucked up. Damn. All right." So like, he's like, "You're paying for this. You're doing." I'm like, "Yeah, that's no problem. I'll pay for it."
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's gonna be like $150.
How much was it?
It was like $650.
Oh my God.
So I lost my phone, had to buy a new one. I had to pay my old one off, and then I bought a new one in cash, so I didn't have to deal with this again.
Yeah.
So it was like $2,300 just for the phone, or like something like around there. Then I had to pay for his door, another $650. So $650. Then it was like a $3,000 night. But now let's talk about Nikki. Okay, he wasn't into this whole situation because he Ubered back home thinking he had his keys. Right. This man gets home, is like, "Oh fuck, I don't have my keys." This man sleeps at the 7-Eleven across the street from his condo.
Oh my God.
On
I would have just slept outside my door, to be honest.
On a fucking bench. He's like, he goes in there, he's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" The guy's like, "What's up? How are you?" And the guy's like, he's like, "You mind if I sleep on this bench right here?"
Oh my God.
That's wild.
It was crazy.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So okay, so that's
I was waiting for him to tie this back into Brooke.
yeah.
What a
Okay,
story.
so we're gonna tie into Brooke. So I think that Monday after that, I got a new phone and everything. We're going back to Alpha Land, right? Because that's like the main reason why I came here. Besides to see the guys, was to come train in Alpha Land. So I come, I'm hanging out there, and Brooke, okay, she denies this, but it's the truth. I was going on my Instagram and I'm looking at who's watching my story. So if you ever watch my story, just know I'm watching you.
He's
Okay.
watching you watch.
I'm watching you watch. So I'm just scrolling. I'm like, who's this brunette looking baddie? And then it was Brookie Bear over here. I'm like, all right, who's this? And she doesn't have like the biggest following at the time. I think she had like, I don't know, 4K.
Hey, you had a small
Now look
following.
at
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Now
like
look at her.
nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now
You
she
grew
is-
so fast.
Now we start dating. She's got 110K. It's crazy.
That's wild.
Stupid.
She did that on her own. So yeah. So basically, what happened was I saw her on looking at my story. I'm like, all right, I think she's beautiful. All right, let me go see if I could find her one day at the gym. So the next fucking day.
But wait, you followed me on Instagram.
Oh yeah. I followed her on Instagram. You have to talk to the mic when you
Sorry.
talk. Okay. So the next day, you remember how I said you got to be a dick, a nice guy, and then a dick, then a nice guy and a dick.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah, that's the best way. Okay, so I saw her on Monday, and exercising or training with her one friend Zelly. Shout out to friend Zelly, motherfucker. And I just approached her because like I'm a very confident guy. Like it's not cocky, it's confident. So I just walked up to her. I was just like, "Hey, are you Brooke?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then I don't know. Long story short, she's like, "I have a boyfriend." I was like, "I have a math test." And then she was like, "What?" And I was like, "I was just wondering if we could cheat on something together." I'm joking. That didn't happen. That was funny though.
That was good. Just improv that was good.
I'm the one-liner king. Ask Nikki Glazer. How you doing? So yeah, we talked for a little bit because I actually did respect her relationship, being serious about it. Yeah. So like we were just friends for a little bit. Like I didn't even like even look at her that way.
So you were the guy friend that she was like, "Oh, don't worry about him."
For sure.
No shame.
But then he left, so it was good.
Yeah.
He went
Okay.
back to Jersey.
Then I went back to Jersey and
Yeah.
then she came to visit me.
Okay, so how long was it before? Because you had a boyfriend at the time. So how long was it before you made the switch? After meeting Mikey.
That's kind of complicated, I guess. Well, like we talked before he left, and then we literally met like 3 days before he was like going back to Jersey, and then so then he went back to Jersey, and then he came back in June, and then we were like,
we were just talking. We weren't dating for like a while. Like we just started dating.
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck, what was the question I was
So
gonna
like
ask?
a month, basically like the transition, like from us, like from her having a boyfriend to us like kind of talking was like a month.
Okay, now if you were already in a relationship, what was it that Mikey had that you were just like, yeah, I need to get out of where I am now?
Well, it wasn't that like I wanted to get out of that because of him. I was like, it was already kind of like a toxic relationship that like I needed to get out of anyways.
Okay.
And then I think like meeting someone that like brought something different to the table kind of like emphasized that. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. So then like we broke up, and then obviously we started getting to know each other, and I was like, this guy's different than any guy I've ever dated. I usually date like guys who are like jealous and insecure, and like I was like, I need to like break this pattern, like because I'm getting the same result over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So no, I even told him that. I was like, no, like I like was initially attracted to you because you were like confident,
Yeah.
And now I'm like, you're annoying because you're so cocky. No,
Because that's what I said on the mic'd up videos that we did. Is like he'd walk through the gym and I'm like, who the fuck is this asshole walking around freaking like acting like he owns the gym? Because he would just walk around like that, and I was like, bro, I couldn't stand him. And then I remember you guys came to the club with us, and then you brought him, and I was like, oh, they brought fucking that fucking.
And it was kind of awkward at first because like he didn't really talk to anyone, so I was like, oh, he's an asshole.
I was like,
It's just,
what
like,
a
not
dick.
his
I was like, he's
scene.
just sitting here at our table,
Yeah.
not fucking doing anything. I was like, his face.
At least
Putting
I
on the
didn't drink
hot
your
seat.
alcohol, like shit.
That's
like,
true,
That,
that's
I
like,
mean-
that would be like that's like I come
Yeah.
from.
that's just like not your vibe.
Yeah, that's
like you're
not-
not
No,
like
yeah.
that guy.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
know that now.
Yeah, I would never.
Yeah.
God.
But I remember, I don't know. Did I tell you? I was like, God, they brought that guy. They brought that guy. I was like,
And
looking.
who?
I think
And
I
looked, was
don't
like,
think if I
oh.
told you. I think I may have told Nate, but I was just like, or Ethan. I was just like, oh, they brought this fucking guy, and I was like, and it was
Your
just kind of
best
like,
friend.
I know, literally. And then we talked one time, and I was like, dude, I love that guy.
I was like, wow, you were talking shit about him. That's wrong.
I
That's what always
swear.
happens. Like
Yeah.
Alyssa and I, like we'll be at the gym, and I'll be like, God, I can't stand that person or whatever. And then they'll like come up and they'll say what's up, and they'll talk to me. And I'm like, they're so nice. And I'm
Wait,
just
so
like,
did you guys think that about me?
No, actually, I don't know. No. Well,
I feel like
okay,
we all,
okay, hang
I
on.
would say yeah because you hung out with a certain influencer that we talked about.
Oh,
at
yeah,
our
yeah,
girls
yeah.
Thing. And so like I knew about that influencer and I knew that like she had like a reputation of like being like kind of rude.
Yeah.
So I think I associated that with like you.
like you are who you hang out with.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Okay,
for sure.
so the other thing too was because you were friends with Fran, and at the time Fran was working at the gym, and so like I knew her, and I knew her from like just working with the trainers and whatnot. And we would make like small casual conversation. Like I'd walk into the office, and I'm not gonna just like awkwardly like not say hi or
yeah,
something.
yeah, of course.
It's like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, how's your day? That type of stuff. So I would like talk to Fran and stuff. And then I think one time, I think I was teasing her one time. I was like, oh, when are you gonna do like an influencer workout with me? Because this is when I first started them. So I only had only knew like 2 influencers at the time. And so I was like, I just need someone with like a big following. And I was like, oh, you should do it. And she was like, give me a couple weeks. And I was like, all right. So then I kind of just kept bringing it up. We were kind of just joking about it, but then I didn't even think about it. And then I know that Alyssa wasn't a huge fan of Fran at the time.
Oh my God, yeah, she had a bad RBF. And I was like,
Oh,
I don't
she
think
does.
Yeah,
She likes
Fran's got a bad RBF.
Yeah.
But like, so
and
I know,
she has RBF personality, like unless she really likes you.
which
like,
I love about her.
but Fran didn't know Alyssa at the time. She knew me. So like, I think what it was is I think just like I'd walk in or whatever, and she'd be like, oh, hey, what's up? And like, she'd say hi to me, but she didn't know Alyssa. And so it kind of created this like awkward barrier, I think, for
like
them.
you
For
can say hi to
Alyssa
my
was
man,
like,
but not me.
what
No,
the
Yeah.
fuck?
I would
Alyssa
feel
was
the
like,
same
what
way
the fuck?
for sure.
Yeah.
And then what basically like happened is, I think I just invited you guys out to the club because I was talking to you guys, I think, about houses, and we were looking for the house at the time. And so I was just like, oh yeah, we're gonna be going out this weekend. You guys should just come, because I knew that I was gonna have a bunch of friends coming. And I was like, oh well, like I was like, it's always easier to like get like more people to come to the club if you're like, yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of girls there, right? Because I'm like, yeah, Alyssa and I are gonna go, right?
And they're like,
and then there's
little
it's like
couple shit.
because then everyone feels like they're third wheeling.
Yeah,
That's what everyone always says. They're just like, oh, I feel like I'm third wheeling, like if I just show up to the club with like you guys, right? It's just like Joe and Alyssa plus like 3 friends, you know what I mean? So it's just like, so I was like, okay, well, let me just invite and I'll just get a big group of people to go. And that's why when you came and you brought Mikey, I was like, damn, I don't fucking like this guy, because I had a bunch of friends that were like, okay, who's all gonna be there, right? And they were just like,
He's like, bitches.
because that's I think that we had
bitches.
I think that we had invited
bring the
invited Sush to the club, and I think that's why too, because he was like, first question he always asks
don't
is like,
think so.
are there gonna be bitches there? And I'm like, I was like, I'll see if Alyssa has some
Because
friends.
that was the night of
Yeah.
Talia's birthday, so he wasn't going to come to the section anyways.
Oh, was that Talia's birthday?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think that we had invited him, but he was just like, yeah, like, you guys got girls that are gonna be at the table. So that's why I was just like, fuck, I need to like, and I don't know anyone besides your friends.
Yeah.
And at the time, you were still pretty shy at the gym. Like, you didn't have very many friends at that time when we first met, because this was like, like early June. And so yeah, I remember that whole thing. But that's kind of how I came across as well.
It's funny
Yeah.
because we never go out either.
And then
Yeah.
me and Franceli were like best friends at the freaking club, dancing on the dance floor.
So okay,
It
so
was
that's the thing
having so much fun.
that's what I thought was so funny, is because Franzelli came over and she's just super bubbly
Yeah,
personality,
yeah.
and I was like, I knew that she would click with Alyssa, and
Yeah.
the way that Alyssa is with every person that I've introduced Alyssa to, she's kind of just like standoffish at first, and then after like 1 or 2 interactions, she's like, oh my god, I love them.
Yeah.
And that's what always happens, because like when I first introduced her to Caroline, she was just like,
I have to get a feel of them, you know?
Yeah.
she definitely
Well,
is
I
an
do
energy
too. I'm the
person.
same way,
I
but, like,
protect
we're
my
both
own energy, so I
Virgos.
have to
Yeah.
make sure that like I'm protecting my energy and I actually vibe with this person instead of just being like so open armed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Does that
I'm
make
the
sense?
opposite. I will just be like, oh, hey, what's up? And like make friends with everyone.
Yeah.
And Alyssa's
That's
totally
how-
opposite,
Yeah.
which is funny. But
Unless it comes to like relationships, then I feel like I have to like really like invest some time. You know?
Makes
before
sense.
Alyssa, no,
Yeah.
I wouldn't. And that was my problem.
Yeah.
I would just like, I'd hang out with someone. I'd be like, oh yeah. And then like I had the toxic trait of, I would hang out with someone
And you
or
want
like
them
I'd
to be your girlfriend. Like
no,
that,
I
like
no,
that.
not necessarily, but I'd hook up with them and I'd be like, all right. And I'd just like start evaluating them and I'd be like, okay, could I introduce them to my parents? Yeah, I probably could. And I'd be like, okay, long term, 3 years. And I would just start
my
doing that like in
God.
my
Never.
head. In
He's
my
a
head.
nice guy for sure, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I could not be an
We're gonna
F-boy.
go over the board soon. What you gotta be?
But yeah, so I thought it was funny. But that's Alyssa's main thing is to like, because I'm really outgoing. So like at the gym, I will go up and just talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And Alyssa's very much just like, I feel like someone's almost got to come up to you.
I get so anxious that I just like stick to myself. I'm just like,
Yeah. But so I thought it was funny because she was just like, not necessarily that she wasn't a fan of Franzelli, but she just didn't know
It's
her
like
and just kind of,
unknown, yeah.
it was just kind of like, who is this person? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And Franzelli came over and just starts like dancing with her because Franzelli knew, because I would just talk to her about Alyssa all the time.
Right.
I would be like at work or whatever, and I'd be like, oh, like Alyssa has that too, or that's a car Alyssa wants, or this or whatnot. And so we would just kind of do stuff. So she just clicked with Alyssa right away. And I thought it was the funniest thing. I was going talking
like
so much.
ironic.
I was talking so much shit to Alyssa, and I was like, "Oh, did you make a new friend?" And she was like, "Yeah." And she's like posted the pictures of that night, and I was like,
Yeah, we got home and I was like, we like looked at each other like, Alyssa's like the cutest human we've ever met in our lives. Like,
okay,
she's so
it's funny.
cute.
Alyssa's so quiet and sweet. If you ever meet Alyssa at the gym, so quiet and sweet. You go to the club, oh, it's lit, Liz.
Oh yeah,
it is
it's
lit.
our picture.
You give her one shot of tequila, and she's a whole different. I remember the first time.
Oh my god.
I will not let her live this down. I don't think we've ever talked about this. The first time we went to like the club, I think we went with did we go with Sush and them?
Oh yeah.
So we went to the club with Sush and them, and I think this was like in March. This was like one of our first club experiences. And she's like wearing a dress and everything, and I'm like, all right, let's go.
I had literally just gotten my boobs done. Okay,
She had just gotten-
They were like up here.
No. They had
Okay.
already dropped.
They had
But
dropped.
It was like my first time going out with new boobs.
I was, oh my god, I was so excited. I was like walking around. I was like, look at this girl right here. Look at my girl right here.
You just have one tit. I just like,
No,
come on, babe, let's go.
facts. So we were literally, so we go out to the club, and we met up with like Sush and them, and they had like a group. And whenever you go out, like whenever we would go out with them, usually it's just like they'll have, because like Sush and them, they're not big like they're not the big like dancing people.
Yeah,
party. They're not.
They just like chill.
They're just chill. They're just chill club.
I'm gonna
vibe.
do that at home.
There's two opposite. Yeah, there's two opposite people. I feel like there's people that just kind of like chill. And like I feel like they people watch, like, and that's what I do when I drink a lot. I people watch.
Really?
I just
He
like
does.
watching.
It's bad.
I just like watching people, and I'll have the stories, and then when we come home, I'm like, babe, you missed this. Like, this is what happened over at this section
Oh
over
my
here.
God.
So we go out to the club, and Alyssa gets a shot, and she's just with one of her other friends at the time that was there. She's just like going off and like dancing with them, and I was like, all right, I know my job, my role is cameraman. I'm supposed to capture all these moments because I knew that she was gonna be lit, and I was like, we drove, so I was like, I gotta be DD, and so. They only had like one or two shots, and I'm just like recording all this, and I'm just posting. I'm like, dude, this is live. Like Alyssa was like live for the party. Couple more shots, hour or so in. Alyssa's literally like starting dance trains with the girls. She's
Oh
like,
my God.
I have a video of her. She's like,
Oh my
she bent one of the girls over, and she's like dancing and smacking her ass. And I was like, and I'm just sitting there just like recording. I'm like, yeah, and I'm like looking around. I'm like, let's go.
Oh my god.
And then I won't say anything else that happened.
No.
She'll kill me after the podcast.
Yes.
But Alyssa was popping off.
That's amazing.
The next
And-
day I went to work because like all my coworkers, they all work at the gym, so they
Right.
all were there, and they're like, "Oh my god, you were so late! You were the life of the party."
Alyssa
and I
was
was
like,
like,
I
"Wait,
don't
what
know.
happened?"
Wait, there was a party?
I showed her the videos, and she goes, "Babe, why would you let me do that?" And I was like, "That was hot. Like you were just twerking on the dance floor. Like that's hot." And she was like, "No, like don't ever let me do that." And we like literally came back, and then we just kept getting the invite after that because then Sush was like, "Yo, y'all were lit.
That was a vibe.
Y'all were lit." Because literally they were looking around. They're like, "Okay, damn." Because like Alyssa was getting everyone to dance, and then
Yeah.
I remember we went to the club one time and she was out of town, and a couple of her friends came out. They're like, "Where's Alyssa?" And I was like, "Oh, like she's in New Mexico." And I was like, "You guys can stay in our section if you want." They're like, "Nah."
They're like,
I was
"She's
like,
not here."
I literally
Party's
texted
not
her and I was
here.
like, "You're the life of the party." I was like, "No one wants to come to the section unless you're here."
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it is. So now anytime we go out, I'm like, "All right, babe," and I get like my camera ready, and I'm like, "All right, go off."
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it was hilarious. But Brooke, tell us a little bit about kind of what you do in your background.
Yeah, so I actually just moved to Houston last year from New Orleans.
How do you like New Orleans?
I don't, which is why I left. No,
Okay,
no,
but
it was
what part of New Orleans were you like in the?
like actually New Orleans.
Okay, I've
Yeah.
only been to the French Quarter, which is, I think it's dope to like go visit for like a day.
Yeah, it's dope
A
to
day.
visit for sure, but
For
like
a
to
day.
live there, it's like really gross.
Oh,
Like
I couldn't imagine.
the carjacks is like really bad. Like it's just not a great place to live. But I lived there like during COVID, and they were so strict with everything COVID, like forever. Like they still kind of are. So I'm like, I need to get out of here. So
Yeah.
I finished grad school, and I was like, I want to move to like a new big city that I don't know, like experience somewhere else. So I literally just like packed my shit, and I was like, all right, it's Houston, So then
Okay.
I came here. I knew like 2 people, and I was like, all right, like let's see what it's about,
Are you still
So-
friends with those 2 people now?
Well, one of them's my ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
So, no. And the other person kind of, but like not really. Like we have like different lifestyles,
And that's what I was gonna say, because like whenever we moved out here, we moved with like we didn't really know anyone when we moved down here, and the first people that we met down here we're not really like friends with anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that people, especially when you go to like a new big city, like you'll meet new friends, and those friends are the ones that will get you connected to other people, but then they don't stay in your life for forever.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my best friend's Franzelli, and like everyone's like, you guys have known each other for so long. I'm like, we literally became best friends in like March.
Yeah, I remember
And, like,
Franzelli
now
said
she lives
that.
in my house. So like, what?
I remember when she told me that, she was like, because you guys were like, guess how long we've been friends for? And I was like, I don't know, like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
And you were like 3-4 months. And
Yeah,
I was
like,
like,
literally.
what?
Crazy.
No, we just clicked. But yeah, we actually met at the gym, which is like, I guess where I meet everyone.
Yeah, apparently.
Because I met you guys at the gym. I met him at the
Alpha
gym.
Land
Yeah.
is where you just meet people, your
Yeah.
Swolemates, your best friends,
Yeah.
everyone. Yeah.
She followed me on Instagram, and I don't know, like I'm a hype girl, so like I was like hard eyes to like one of her photos, and she like DM'd me and she was like, if you ever see me staring at you in the gym, like I just think you're so pretty, and I was like, oh my god, let's be best friends.
And that's
And now
how,
we're best friends. Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, my time in Houston's been great. I love it here, so can't complain.
Okay. Amazing. And now you are in a complete opposite realm of all of us in terms of what you do for work. You're in IT, right?
Yeah. So I have like an actual 9 to 5. I know. And we were talking about that the other day. I'm like, which one of your friends has a 9 to 5? And he's like, none of them. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
none of them.
which one of my friends have a 9 to 5? I'm like, none of them. Like, what?
Does it feel weird?
I mean, the thing about my 9 to 5 is, number one, I work from home. But I'm also like a contractor technically, so I don't have to like work all the time. I mean, I work very like minimally. So
How many hours per week would you say that you work? Assuming your boss is not watching this.
He probably knows for sure. I mean, I bill for 40 hours, but I work probably like 4.
Oh my,
my
God.
God.
Yeah.
I want a 9 to 5 now.
Yeah, it's great. It pays the bills, and then I do everything that you guys do, you know, like
Yeah.
content, things like that. Social media is just kind of fun. I think people like on my Instagram are like, oh, you do social media for work. And I'm like, I do social media like for fun, you know?
Yeah.
And then like if it turns into work, you know, then it does.
She's
But-
like, oh, I'm just doing it for fun. Has 110K. I'm like, bro, I've been grinding at this shit for like 3 years and I barely almost got 8K. Like, shit.
it was totally an accident. Like,
Okay,
I
tell
literally-
us how you got so many
Tell us,
fucking
yeah, how.
followers.
Okay, so I actually saw this girl's Instagram and she made a reel like just like walking in like an outfit. And I was like, that was such a vibe. Like I really like it was like super quick, you know, like it was just like a cute outfit. And just like walking in slow-mo. I'm like, that's kind of cool. And I'm like, let me do it. So so I'm like, let me do it. Obviously, like I'm gonna do it in a cute outfit. Like I'm not gonna waste my time here. So so I was going to brunch with some friends and I had my ex-boyfriend at the time. I'm like, hey, can you just like record me walking out of the house? He's like, yeah, sure. And you're like, okay, whatever. So I'm literally walking out of my house just like I do every single day. And it got like almost 800K views.
Any hashtags? Any sound?
No. It
Nothing.
was, the caption was, POV, we're going to Sunday brunch.
And that was
That was it. That was literally
How
it.
fast did it take for it to blow
actually,
up?
I posted it on TikTok first. And then I think it got like 300K on TikTok. And I was like, okay, let me do it as a reel. Reels weren't really big at the time. I think this is in like May.
Okay.
I can't remember. Yeah. So I'm like, let me do it as a reel, you know? My Instagram, I had like 4,000 followers. And then that's when I got like almost 800K views and my shit just went. I got like 40,000 followers just from that one reel.
One reel. So
And
how
I'm
many
like-
total have you done?
I'm like, okay, people really like me walking out of my house. I'm like, I do this every day. Like, why am I not recording it more?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So then I just started like, every time I was like, you know, like super confident or I like really like my outfit, I'm like, let me just like record myself walking out of my house. And I think I have like 5 now, but like the people love it.
The people.
The people love it. Yeah.
So
I
people
don't know,
people see you at the gym, like, oh my God, that's the girl that walked
Yeah.
out of her house.
Slow-mo,
Shit.
it's a slow-mo walk, girl.
It's you close the door, like normal speed.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
when you take your first step forward is when you do the slow-mo. Take like 3 steps and then you just regular speed again.
Okay.
I've got it down to a science now.
Okay.
But yeah,
Maybe,
I don't
maybe
know.
we can put it up on the screen so that people can see.
Yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, I mean, it's really basic shit. Like I walk
Okay.
out of my house every day, so I'm like, if I'm not capitalizing on this, like, what am I doing?
Okay.
So,
Okay.
So yeah, I have like 5 of them now. They all like get a lot of traction for some reason. I was telling Joe like the other day, I was like, yeah, Alyssa needs to come over, and me, Alyssa, Franzelli, and Caroline can all walk out of my house.
Oh my
Just like a whole
gosh.
train.
in a
Oh my
reel.
God.
Like,
Yeah.
it would go
Especially if you
crazy.
post it and you tag
People
all of
go
them. Oh my
wild.
God.
And we
Why
all
haven't
like
you not
look
done
so
this?
different. So like I figured the caption could be like, which one are you choosing? Or like, who's your player?
Choose your fighter.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah,
choose your
that's a
fighter.
good
Yeah,
one.
you know.
Yeah.
Damn, you need to go over to Brooke's house.
And I'm like, I'm like in the process of like trying to decide if I want to sell my house, and I'm like, I don't know. Like it's
I
kind of
don't
like
know.
my content house.
Yeah.
You should tell the people how the house next door was being built.
Oh yeah. Okay, so there's
Oh,
a house
gosh.
next door to my house that's like currently being built, right?
Yeah.
And I had someone comment on like my 4th reel walking out of my house, and they were like, if you look at all her videos walking out of her house, you can slowly see the house being built. And
Isn't that shit funny?
So
That
I like,
shit's funny.
so I like watch them all back. I'm like, damn, this guy's onto something.
That's
like,
funny.
It's super cool. Yeah. So.
That's how you know he watched the video.
Yeah,
like,
he watches
over and
all
over
of
and
them.
over.
He's
and
like,
over.
when she walking out of her house again? When she walking out of her house?
refresh.
Yeah. So I mean, that's it. That's how
funny.
my Instagram kind of blew up. So.
Okay. Now,
Love that.
when you met Dak, or Mikey or Dak?
I go by like 4 aliases.
All of them. Okay. So when you
I call him
met
Princess usually.
So when you met Princess here, did you know that he had been on Fboy Island?
Yeah, we kind of talked about it a little bit because Franzelli knew Nikki.
Okay.
And actually, the day that we met, when he said that he came and talked to me, I said to Franzelli, like, already talking shit. I'm like, yeah, that guy follows me on Instagram. Like, I was
He's
like,
an Fboy.
yeah, but I was like, but I didn't follow him back because like I don't know him, you know. Like I'm a vibes person. Like you can be attractive, but like if we don't vibe, like I don't really care, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I didn't follow him back, and then obviously I did.
Shout out to all the twos and threes out there. You got a chance.
And then so knowing that he was on Fboy Island, was that a red flag?
It wasn't a red flag that he was on Fboy Island. The red flag was like, I broke up with my girlfriend to go on a TV show. That was a red flag.
Oh,
Red
yeah.
flag,
Damn.
bro.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Okay,
Yeah.
another question. Was it weird, like, watching him on TV? Because obviously you know him, right?
Yeah.
Was his persona the same as
Oh,
it was
1,000%.
Okay.
1,000%. Yeah.
She's like, yeah. No.
She's like, well, at least you're not fake.
yeah,
Hey.
true.
Well, like people are like, oh, like it's scripted or it's acting or whatever. Like you're someone that you're not in person, and like he is 1,000% himself in person that he was on the show, and like that's why it's so great. And I'm
Okay,
like,
but
wow.
I think almost the opposite. You mean you spend more time with him? I almost think the opposite. We were watching it and I was like, see, this guy's a total asshole on the show. And I was like, but whenever I see him, like literally, he texted me the other day when we were coordinating working on it, and he's like, hey, good morning, baby. Like, he was like, what time are he was like,
he calls you baby. He
Yeah.
tells me good morning.
He was like,
I literally say good morning, motherfucker.
he's all good morning. I was like, hope you're having a great day, bro. What time do you want to come lift at? And I was like, that's just like the most like, usually it's just like, yo, what time's the lift? But like he was like, and I was like, this is so different. And then like when we came and did jujitsu, and he was like teaching me jujitsu, it was funny because I was like, okay, he's just fucking throw me around, and he's like, no, like gentle, and he's just like, he was like throwing me to the ground. He's like, look, see, gentle, and I was like, this guy does not look like a big like cuddly bear, but that's like how he is.
1,000%.
I'm the best cuddler thanks to jujitsu.
Yeah, on the outside he looks like super mean and like aggressive.
But that's good for
And,
her
like-
because no girls ever approach me.
Yeah.
Ever.
True, really?
Ever. Like no girls DM me, no girls approach me.
He
But it's
just has
good.
that
I got-
look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have if I didn't meet him in person for sure.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this guy looks like a dick. Like I would not. No.
That's what I was gonna say.
But
He
like that's my
definitely-
type. Like a guy who looks like a dick but is like really, really nice.
Okay, so tell us about the thing that you were gonna talk about earlier. The dick,
F-boy
nice guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Teach us.
there's like a Richter scale. Okay. I don't even know if that's the right terminology, but we're gonna call it that. It's okay. I'm Mikey fucking D. I create words.
I can do whatever I
All
want.
right. So there's a scale, okay? We'll call it a pie chart. Does that sound
No,
better?
It's not a pie. Babe, a pie chart is literally like a pie.
This is why she's my manager.
It's a graph. It's
A
a
graph.
graph.
All right, a bar graph.
Not a bar graph. It's just a graph.
Okay, a
It's
graph. Okay, a graph. Okay. So we had this graph. Okay. Now, a nice guy, okay, will always be the same exact person all the
Wait,
time.
can we pause? This goes for girls too.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. A nice girl. Okay. So a nice guy or girl will be on the same scale the whole time that you're in this relationship. And I'm over here like this. She's going to do this today. Oh, she did it. Oh, she's going to do that today. She did it. Oh, this is going to happen. She did it. Well, that, my friend, is where you be complacent in your relationship, and it is no longer fun. So you have to be the best of both worlds. You have to be the nice guy, and then the dick, and then the nice guy, and then the dick, and then so on and so forth. Now, the reason behind it, right, is you're not going to ever have the same Mikey D. One day you're going to have Michael. One day you're going to have Mikey D. One day you're going to have Mikey Cheeks. One day you're going to have Michael DeCassian the third. You never know. But that's the the treat you get every day.
Yeah. No, it's great.
Does that work?
No, it does. It does.
Okay, so give us an example. Give us an example.
So like, you know, one day,
Nice guy day, and then
I mean,
good
I'm
day.
on prep for a bodybuilding show, so I'm literally eating chicken and rice every day, like chicken, rice.
So I'm really like the MVP for
Literally,
shit.
like, yeah, she puts up with my shit for sure. But to give you an example, like if we go out, like I'll open the door for her one day, and then next day I'll slam it in her face.
That's why if you look closely, you can kind of see like the bruise.
No, don't you dare! No.
Don't. Hey, yo.
Tell them it's a fucking lie, please.
No, I'm kidding.
People are gonna come at him.
She's looking around. She's like, "Do I have any more?"
She's like, that pit shark did fuck my leg up.
It did.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
No,
Nah,
but
but it's
like he'll say like a compliment, then he'll say something stupid. Like
Like
he'll
I'll say, "Good morning, motherfucker."
yeah. Like I get the
okay.
good morning, and then I get the motherfucker. So
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like a hat.
That makes sense.
At least it's still a good
or like good morning,
Yeah.
beautiful motherfucker. Like,
Yeah.
he'll do
Okay,
that.
okay.
At least you said beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's a downward spiral, you know, but it's going up sooner or later.
So babe, how would you feel if I started doing that?
I don't care.
I've always been nice
I feel
guy.
like honestly, with her personality, she wants that so bad.
She wants
She
that.
wants that so bad.
Honestly, I feel like that's me.
I'm
feel
like
that's
I'm like
me.
too afraid to be like just like say something like as like a joke, but let's just like to be kind of like a dick, like kind of like tease her and her take it the wrong way and get upset, and I'll be like, oh bro, just.
And then
put
when she
myself in
gets
the
upset,
doghouse.
when she gets upset, just leave. Just leave the house.
Stop.
No,
because I'll
I will be
literally-
single if I do that.
Latina,
She'll be like,
I
"Bye,
am literally
honey."
so spicy. He's never dated a Latina before. He's
Oh,
always dated white
no.
girls.
Big
yeah,
purr.
I've only dated
Big
white
purr.
girls.
Oh shit.
I'm pretty spicy for a white girl.
Yeah, so
No,
like
she's
he
spicy.
knows.
She's Polynesian.
He knows.
Thanks.
Yeah, no,
No, but it actually is like a thing. Like for humans, like not even just like girls. Like guys feel the same way. Like guys don't want just like a nice girl, right? Like you wifed her up, right? But you said she's different than all the other girls you've dated.
Mhm.
Why? Like, how is she different?
She's different in like other things that we do, right? Like she's different in like the like supports me, wanted to like come out here and move with me to Houston. It's just pretty much like on board for anything. So like I'd say that's what like really separates her is she's confident in herself.
Yeah.
And then I think that's the big thing. So like all the other girls that I dated before, it was like, oh, you look so good. Let's take like a picture. Or like, oh, like I love this like bikini on you. Like you should like take a picture. And it's like, no, like I can't post that. I'm like, oh, lame. Right? Versus Alyssa, I'm like, babe, you look fucking hot. She's like, yeah, I know. And she'll like post it.
She's
I'm
like, I already
"Let's
posted
go."
the photo.
Okay, so I don't
And
know.
I probably already commented like
Right. So there's this thing that I had and like so okay, so I was homeschooled growing up, right? So the girls that I wouldn't say attracted because I don't act like I'm homeschooled, right? But
You really don't.
I
'Cause,
really
like,
don't.
You either would play the piano or you'd be like a professional tap dancer.
no one's seen the Lego collection upstairs. That's about it. But we don't have to talk about that. But so like when I was dating girls, right? Like my parents were super strict. I went to freaking homecoming, I think the first time when I was like 17, right? And then I went to prom with my ex-girlfriend only because it was her prom. But like, you know what I mean? I was already in college at the time. Like I was 18 and 19 and I was going to the prom because like I was like, oh, this is like so exciting. But the girls that like I didn't attract like the hot girls. I didn't attract like the bad girls on campus type of thing, right? So it was like if there was a girl that like I was like, oh wow, like she's really attractive, like I really want to start talking to her. There was no chance I could slide in the DM because I knew I was like, bro, I'm like some fucking homeschool kid. I don't even go to the school, right? And this was like in high school. I was like, I don't even go to the school. And then when they're like, oh, so like, you know, where do you go to school? Do you go to Rio Rancho? And I'm like, no, I'm in college. And they're like, oh, like why are you hitting on me? I'm like, well, I'm actually probably about your same age. And they're like, so you're 17 in college? I'm like, yeah, I've been in college for about 2 years. And they're like, oh, okay. And they're like, well, like, are you free maybe like on Friday? And I'm like, I gotta work actually, like, cause I had a full-time job.
Yeah.
And so like so I met my ex-girlfriend at work, right?
Okay.
So it was just kind of like that's what was there. But yeah.
That's what
But I feel like you date people that like have a similar lifestyle. So
Yeah,
like, you have the
exactly.
Same job, or
exactly.
you have,
We had the
like-
same job. We had the same
Yeah.
interests. We both played soccer, things like
Okay.
that. So, but you know, like my thing. So when I started training for like bodybuilding, right, which was probably in like November 2019 is when I was like, okay, I was working out and stuff, but I was doing more like powerlifting and just like strength training and stuff. And then I was
Cringe.
like, I wasn't necessarily so like, okay, when I was playing soccer, all the lifting that I did was like all soccer related.
I played soccer too.
Fuck, let's go. So I was playing soccer. So all my
I
training
played
was like,
soccer for 7 years.
He was like 5.
I was 6. Okay.
Ages 2 to 6, yeah. So I was doing all the training for like that, and then I got more into like the bodybuilding, and so I started doing more like bicep curls and stuff like that, because like literally when I was in high school, I was going to my brother-in-law's house to work out, and I'd be like, and he would make me squat, bench, deadlift, strict press, pull-ups. That was it. That was all I was allowed to do.
Like
Compound.
powerlifting.
Literally just compound strength training, like
Okay.
literally just pure strength training. It wasn't even powerlifting because it wasn't like percentages. It was literally 5x5 on everything.
Wow.
And it was like, and if you couldn't get 5 reps, you dropped 10 pounds the next week and then you restarted. And like, I mean, I got really freaking strong, and I was playing soccer, right? So I was like literally 100 pounds, and I was like squatting like 270.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was strong as fuck, right?
Yeah.
And it was all high bar too. Like I was just rocking out reps. And but I always tell my brother-in-law, I'd be like, can we do like bicep curls? Like, bro, like I want bigger arms. And he was like, no. He's like, what do you use your biceps for? To bring food to your mouth. You can do that when you're eating. And I was
Damn.
like that. He literally like what he was like, not in my gym.
He puts like a bunch of food on a spoon. Just thinking.
He did CrossFit. So
Oh.
okay, no. He's an Olympic lifter now.
Yeah.
But like he started off doing CrossFit and then got into
He's
Olympic
one of
lifting.
those guys.
He's got like a few gold medals in Olympic lifting.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
for like the state in New Mexico, like he's good. He's smart. But anyway, so like that's the type of training I was doing. So then I started doing more bodybuilding. I got a lot more confident. I was like, damn, like I look good, right? And so not having anything to go off of, like I was in college and I was working. So it was pretty much just like me and myself, and I had like my roommates, but it was like really, really small circle. And my circle was just like always coming to like hang out and like work out. And out of my circle, I was like the only one that had like visible abs. So that was already like a confidence boost, right? Like, cause I was just like, oh, I got the one guy with abs. So that's all I would flex, right? So like every day when I'm at the gym, take a picture on Instagram, and I would look back
Were
at
you
it.
like the skinniest guy?
I was like, I just had really good shape.
Okay.
I had really good shape. And
But
then
I feel like really skinny guys are like, I have abs. I'm like, you have ribs, sir. You like,
have
you need to
ribs.
put
I
something down.
wasn't skinny. Like I had
Yeah, he
abs.
had muscle.
I had
Okay.
abs because I played soccer, and all we did during soccer on JV is abs. Like I kid you
Really?
not, we didn't do conditioning. We did abs. We did abs
Wow.
Tabatas. Like literally 10 minutes of abs after every practice. Like it was ridiculous. So that's kind of what we did. So, you know, I started getting like a lot more confident, and I was like, that's when I was starting to get into social media. And I was literally having like, at the time where I was in New Mexico, like it was so weird for me to have a videographer to come with me to the gym and like take pics.
Yeah.
And everyone was just like, I would always kind of like get flamed for it a little bit, but like posting those pictures got me attention from girls who I always thought were out of my league, because I was posting pictures and I'm like shirtless and I'm just posing and the lighting's fucking
It's
sick.
the
Like
confidence.
honestly,
Yeah.
the
It
pictures,
really is.
the
It's the
pictures were
confidence.
fire. Like honestly, like when Connor took those pictures for me, shout out to Connor. When he took those pictures for me, like they make me look a lot bigger than I was. Like I was tiny. I
And
was
this is
literally
like 2019, correct?
2019. I was like 130 pounds.
Wow.
Wow.
I was small, and I was like in college, and so like I started getting a lot more attention, and then I was coaching and I was talking to like a lot more girls, and then and I mean like Alyssa knows this, and then I literally there was another girl I was talking to, and she was kind of like my gym buddy, and I'm fucking homeschooled. And even Alyssa knows this now, I suck at reading like social cues. Alyssa's like, that girl was totally flirting with you, and I was like, no, she wasn't. Alyssa's like,
I think
yeah,
men
she was.
in general are a
Yeah.
little-
I think men in general are, but also
especially you. No,
Speak
just
for
kidding.
yourself.
okay, but also coming from the fact that like I'm gonna
You
use
were
this as an
homeschooled.
excuse. Like I don't have good social cues to begin with.
Yeah.
Like so like let's just say that I'm out with someone somewhere and they get upset about something that I do. It hurts me. Like it will just like sit with me. I can't like just be like, okay, well, whatever. You're just having, like I will get genuinely so upset, and I will do whatever I can to like fix the situation.
Like,
Nice
right
guy.
away.
Nice guy.
Total nice
No,
guy.
that's actually like a thing.
But
Like a
like,
nice guy.
but like
I'm just kidding.
because I know that was one of my biggest things, like playing soccer at the high school, is like I just sucked at socializing. Like I always like for the
Which is
longest
so
time.
ironic. Like knowing you
can't
now,
stop
like
talking now.
I literally
Literally,
don't shut
like-
up now. But like I would always, because I always just felt awkward. And like even the first few times that we went to the club, I would not do anything. Like I would literally just stand there, and I would just kind of like Alyssa would do her thing, and that's kind of how I got a little bit more comfortable. But I was like, man, if I get like drunk and I start dancing, like I'm gonna look like an idiot. But even now, like Alyssa's like, Joe, you suck at dancing. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like I'll just like whatever, because I just vibe in my own thing, so I'm in
Yeah.
my own peace now.
Yeah.
yeah.
But there was a girl that I started talking to, and like I met her at the gym, and she was way out of my league. Like I was like, no way, because this was like at the time, this girl was like the popular girl at one of the biggest high schools in New Mexico, and so So she like started like hanging out with me, and we were like going to the gym together, and just getting that attention elsewhere. I was just like, man, my girlfriend's fucking like lame. And I remember I went to California to go see one of my buddies, and we went to the Young Thug concert, and so we were staying at his dorm and stuff like that, and I went to go see him all the time. And my ex-girlfriend would always just like, she'd like call me like when I was at the concert, and I'd be like, I can't fucking talk right now, like I'm at the concert, or like, you know, hey, we're you know, we're like skating the pier, or we're just like, we're freaking drunk eating like pizza or something like that in the room. Like, I don't know, I'm just like busy. And cause she wanted to like talk and like have like a long conversation. And I was like, I don't got time for this. And so,
Fboy.
yeah, I know, right? No, like
kicking in
I'm like, hey, I'm busy right now. And I'm just like, we're just kicking back playing fucking Mario Bros in the fucking room at the college. And,
Respect.
And so I just, that trip, I just couldn't stand like talking to her almost. And
You think it was just like all the attention you were getting? Like you were like,
but like that other girl, she was like giving me attention, but she was just like acting like more chill. She was like, oh damn, like I wish I was out there in California with you. And like, again, I can't read social cues. So at the time I was just like, oh, this is a great friend of mine. Like,
oh my God,
that would be fun. Like if she was like, oh, here. That's no, like literally, I'm so oblivious. Ask
and girls
Alyssa.
are already like so nervous to like put themselves out there.
Ask Alyssa.
And to
I'm
put
so
themselves out
oblivious.
with a guy who doesn't even know.
No.
He's like, oh, cool.
I'll be like, this guy.
Let me build my Legos. Hold on.
Okay, hey, hold on now.
Just kidding.
She would
And
have
so-
to whip out the Gluck Gluck 9000 for him to realize what the fuck was going on over here.
Literally.
And so
Just like pull your pants out and you're like, why?
What do you
like
mean?
you want to like
What-
see my legs? I want to see your dick.
no. So
God.
so yeah, I came home from that trip, and I remember my ex-girlfriend picked me up from the airport, and I was so excited to see her, so excited to just show her like all the stupid videos that we had done, all the shit that we had done, you know, out there at the college. And she was like, hurry up, I'm tired, I want to go home. And I was like, and we went home, and I was just like, we went back to her place, we just fell asleep. And that was a trend that we had in college. Like what would happen is like, cause I was in college and I was working 2 jobs at the time. So like I was exhausted. So the time that I spent like with her, it was like, she didn't grasp the concept of just like, okay, I just want to spend time with you and just like be with you and just hang out. Like we're not doing anything. Like she like almost like had to do something. So like I'd come over and she would be like behind on homework. So she'd be stressed out. She'd be freaking out to me. So then I would do her homework for her. And then we would just fall asleep watching a movie. And then it was like every night we wouldn't go do anything because I was always working. And unless I planned it, she wouldn't plan anything. So I was just like, bro, this feels like a marriage. Like this, I was like, I am 19 and I'm just like, it was like, she was like, when are you getting off work? I'm ready to go to bed. I'm like, okay. So then I'd like go home and I'd have homework and I'd be like, whatever, I'll just do it tomorrow. And so I was getting behind in all my classes, and it was just bad time. And so, but I developed those habits, and like I didn't even break those habits in college. Cause then once I became single, I was like, fuck, now I've got time. Now I don't have to like go home and like fall asleep. Like I can go out and fucking party or something like that. And I was, 19, and that was the first time I had experienced anything of like college or any partying. Like had my first drink then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like that's why you love partying every weekend.
No,
still,
like
right?
literally. So
I feel like he's still trying to get out
of
of
like
him.
your college
well,
years.
and exactly, and that's what I told Alyssa, because she's like, well, why do you like going out to the club so much? And I'm like, I didn't get any partying. Like I never went to high school parties ever.
Yeah.
I remember being like
Ever.
16 years old, just going out to these stupid high school parties.
My parents wouldn't let me.
I got my
I have the
partying
funniest
face out.
story. I think everybody will fucking laugh at. I was 16 years old, and this is before I lost my virginity. So I'm like about to lose my virginity.
Yeah.
So I put the condom on, right, to have sex with this girl at like this like random high school party. I was 16, and so I put the condom on. I'm about to have sex with this girl, and then I hear a knock on the door. And then it's like the woman like that owns the house. She's like, what are you doing? Get the fuck out of my house. So I literally wore that condom until I got all the way back to my house.
Oh my God.
I didn't take it off.
God.
Like I had to like put my dick in my pants. I still had the condom on.
Still didn't lose his virginity.
Still didn't lose my virginity. Had the condom on. My dick at this point was soft. Like I had a soft dick with a condom on. It was a Magnum, by the way. How you doing?
They make extra smalls.
Yeah.
God, that's funny. Yeah. So I was.
So now you're like in your partying phase now, but also like
So,
in your like marriage phase now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, so back then, yeah, I was like 19. So I started getting a lot more attention. And so I started getting attention from, other girls and stuff like that. And I was just like, and I was the weird thing is like I was getting a lot of it because that confidence of getting like one girl, and then I hooked up with her. Like I broke up with my girlfriend at like literally a couple days after that trip. I was like at work and she was fucking bitching about something. I was at work like, when are you coming home? And I remember I called both my sisters and I was like, I think I'm gonna break up with her. And I had been with her for 3.5 years. We were going on 4, and she had a promise ring and everything. Because like what happened? So me coming up raised in a Catholic household, I was like, okay, I can't have sex until I'm married, right? So
what a nice guy.
I was dude. That was the trend I was trying to keep.
He still hasn't had sex, you guys.
Whoa. No, so like 16 or 17. I think I was like 17 or 18, honestly. And I was like, okay, if I can't have sex, I'm gonna do everything but have like actual sex. And then after a certain period of time, you just get closer and closer and closer. And then it literally was just like, it was literally just one time, it was just like, oops. And after, dude, I was so guilty. Like I felt so bad. I was like, my parents are gonna shame me. Like, oh, like it was bad because did
you slip and fall in her vagina? Like, how did that happen?
We're not gonna go into detail. Let's not go into detail. But no, that was literally it. And okay, keep in mind, being homeschooled, I didn't have a sex ed class. No, but like
that would be a lucky ass girl.
So
one
then
time,
like
bang.
So after
fertile as fuck.
Unlucky.
After she was like, did you inside me? And I was like, I honestly don't know. I was like, and that's why I was freaking the fuck out.
Oh my God.
That's why I was freaking the fuck out.
Oh my God.
And then he broke up with her and ran to another state.
No, this was so that this was like in our relationship, and then I was freaked out after that I was like condom and I pulled out.
Damn.
For everything, I was like so freaked out about it. And
2
then after
condoms.
a certain point, I just quit caring, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was just weird. But anyway, so I broke up with I called my sisters and I was just like, yeah, like I think I'm gonna break up with her. And they're like, well, if she's like, if you're having trouble and like you just don't vibe with her anymore, like that's okay. And so they kind of just told me like, it's okay, you don't have to like marry this girl. And the only reason like I had kind of like given her a promise ring is I was like, fuck, I slept with her, so like I'll make myself okay within like the Catholic Church if I just marry her.
Wow.
If I marry her, then I've only ever slept with one person.
Right.
So then it's like, it's not okay, but it's like better, I guess. Yeah. And that's how I was justifying it in my head. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm marrying this girl. So then like I just spent all, and then I was just like, I just wasn't happy. And so I was like, all right. So I like went over to her house and or went over to her dorm, and because she was like, oh, like she was waiting for me to work out, I think. And I was like, you can just go work out by yourself, like I need to talk to you when I get home. And so like she just like knew, because like we were already kind of like on the fence.
Prefaced it with that,
and like I remember I walked into her apartment and she was like already crying, and all of her roommates were just like fucking looking out their door, just like staring at me like,
oh, that's so awkward.
Joe's about to fucking, and I was like, bro, this is so weird. And I'm like in my work clothes, I was working at Melting Pot, and I worked for her stepmom.
Oh, this is that girl.
He got fired.
Yeah, dude,
so
this is
broke
fucking.
up with her, and then he got fired.
No, I didn't get fired, because after that breakup, she like, her stepmom like sent me in the office. She was like, I don't give a fuck what happened. Are you gonna keep showing up to work? I was like, yeah, like I'm. And she was like, good. She was like, good, because you're good at this job. We want to keep you here. And I was a lead server. And she was like, okay, but I lost all special privileges, because I used to get every holiday off, because like I would be like, oh, she'd be like,
family, basically.
Yeah, I was basically family. And so I started having to work Christmas. And I was like, bro, this is bullshit, because like 13, 14-hour shifts at Melting Pot on Christmas. Yeah. Who the fuck is coming into Melting Pot on Christmas? Let's just start with that. Yeah. Like be at home and eat. Yeah. So I literally walked into her apartment. I was like, look, like I think, and I didn't know how to break up. It was the first girl I've ever dated. So I didn't know how to break up with her.
It's never easy.
So I was just like, look, like, I think we need to take a break. Like I need to focus on myself. Cause I was also like I was getting behind in classes because working and then going over and having to spend time with her. And I was so upset. And like, it was just like hard for me, because the hardest part at that time was just like bawling her eyes out. And she's like screaming, like, don't leave me. Don't leave me. And I literally just walked away. I literally just like closed the door, and I was just like, and that was rough, because like, again, I don't like, this is like one of the few girls I've ever talked to in my life at the time. Yeah. Right. And
obviously you had strong feelings for her.
Yeah. Right. Because like I was going to marry her. So I was just like, all right. So it was just like, and so then I like went, my roommates were like, yo, let's go to IHOP. Like, let's just fucking kill the vibe.
IHOP.
And I was like, all right. Like,
I wish I could go to IHOP.
Yeah. So like we went to IHOP. We got fucking blueberry pancakes, sausage, hash brown. Bro, the hash browns are fire there.
Fire. But they have Pepsi products, so.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I didn't drink soda at the time. So I was like, whatever. And then like one day later, I was like, all right, I moved on. And I was like over it. No and because I was talking to that girl, and I was like, all right, now my sights are set on this girl. Like,
so you had a rebound though.
So she brought one of her friends to Melting Pot, and was like, asked her friend something. She was like, oh, why don't you ask Joe? He's in a relationship. I was like, no, not anymore. And she was like, oh shit, like when did that happen? And it had happened like yesterday. And I was like, oh, like a week ago. And she was like, oh,
maybe he's not a nice guy.
And then the vibe,
this
like
is the up-down.
So secret F-boy.
secret F-boy. So then after that, the vibe changed. So then like her mood and vibe changed. Like she was just like, oh, okay, like Joe's on the market now, almost kind of like that.
Yeah.
So then I like didn't charge her for dinner. And then she like was like crying in the parking lot. She was like, no one's ever bought me dinner before. And I was like, what? Because like whenever I would take my ex-girlfriend out on dates, like my dad, like growing up, I had 3 older sisters. So it was like, you open the door for every single girl. You take them on a date. You go on a nice place. You go in, you go meet their parents. You go shake the dad's hand. You go shake the mom's hand.
Wow.
You meet the siblings. When you go pick them up from the house, you open the door for her. You drop her off before 9. That's how I was.
Like
so I was like, I was like, no one's ever paid for your date. Like that's a given. Like if I take
do you know how like rare that actually is though?
But that's
like,
from my dad.
Chivalry does not exist.
That's what Alyssa now, because like she'll hear from like some of our other friends and even me, like some of our other friends will like talk about different like relationship stuff, and I'm like really? And I'll like certain things for me, I'm just like if we go out, like she doesn't get an option to like pay. Right. And like now that we're in a relationship, she's like, if she plans a date, she pays for it. If I plan the date, I pay for it.
Yeah.
But even if we're out somewhere,
like
I'm
if
just
you're
like,
newly dating someone.
If we're newly dating, she didn't pay for shit for
no. A lot of my friends will tell me, and I'm like,
year.
Ew.
Yeah, she won't pay for it.
You better not see him again.
And it wasn't, but it wasn't from it like because I know it's kind of a thing of just like, oh, like you know, like paying for stuff, like I'm independent, I can do like this and that. It was never that. Like if a girl was like, no, like please, like let me get like dessert or whatever, like you can get dessert or something like that, but I'm always gonna offer. Like my card will always be the first one there. You're gonna have to fight me to pay for it.
Yeah.
And then if we've been talking for long enough, I'll be like, okay, yeah, no, like I'll let you. You know what I mean? Like if you really want to buy me ice cream, sure. You know what I mean? but yeah, so I and then that girl, like the next night, she came over and like we hooked up, and I'm like that was like my golden ticket. You know what I mean? Like this is the second person I'd ever like slept with, and that was like my golden ticket. And I was like, fuck yeah. And I was like,
golden ticket to being an F-boy.
No, like I was, and then after that, it was just like within like a month, my roster was like at like
my
8 or 10 within like a month.
About to fall off.
I was popping up. No, okay, but keep in mind, I didn't have sex ed class. So after like,
so he had 9 kids, everybody.
Damn.
No, so
Did
like
you catch something?
I never caught anything.
He's
but
like, what do I catch? I don't even know. Are
but like,
things out there?
But like, yeah. So like, then my roommate at some point was just like, "Bro, have you gotten tested?" And I was like, "For what?"
For COVID.
I was like, "Nah, bro. Like, science test is tomorrow." You know what I mean? I was like, and he was like,
God, Joe, you're giving me anxiety.
Yeah, my roommates were the ones that were like, "Bro, go fucking get tested," and I did, and I was like, "Oh, God, I'm clean." And after that, I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm clean. Let's go." And then I was just like, "We good." So yeah,
his roommate had like a cake for him. When
but hold up. I wasn't hooking up with weirdos though.
But it's like I don't know.
You could have like the nicest looking girl, and she could have like literally the hit.
Yeah.
I honestly I got super lucky. I got super lucky. I got super lucky because I was always in those situations of just like not being prepared.
Yeah, God was like, he doesn't know what he doesn't know.
Yeah, no, literally, I got super lucky.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, so I did that for, I think I was single for a period of like 8 months, and then I met Alyssa towards the end, and I was like,
I feel like everyone goes through a phase like that.
Yeah,
though.
literally.
Like a partying phase, or like a phase where they're not like seriously dating.
It's called the hoe phase.
You have to have a hoe
I went through
phase.
that phase too.
I truly believe like you gotta have a hoe phase.
And some people go, I mean, some people wait till
so
they're
like
40
after
and married.
So after I had hooked up with like fucking 14, 15 people, right? I was like, well, fuck, like this sucks. This isn't fun. Like having someone different all the time is like not fun, because I'm a relationship type of person. So all these hookups that were coming over, I'm like, do you want breakfast? And they're like,
God.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I did that to Alyssa.
No.
So like these
you
girls
told
would
me
come
that.
over. These girls would come over, and I'd be like, do you want to shower with me? And they're like, no, what the fuck? No. And like, I didn't think anything of it. Again, no social cues. Like, so I'm like, this is normal. Like I usually take a shower after. So like, if you want to join, you can, or you can shower by yourself. I feel like that's weird. Like why waste water? Just do it. You know what I mean?
Wow, what an environmentally friendly household we're in.
I'd keep snacks. Like after I hook up, I'd like go get like Oreos and stuff. And be like, you want some? You know what I mean? Like that was me.
Oh my God.
So yeah.
Want to build this Lego set?
Okay, no, that's a relationship.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets to touch.
Not
the
everyone
Legos.
gets to do that. No, Alyssa, I want to let Alyssa touch them.
No
Alyssa
You
has
way.
to-
did? No, you did.
But Alyssa has to
He's
build
like
her
the
own
small
sets
one, the
No.
usually.
$30 one.
Don't lie.
I
You're
like.
"Do
I
you
don't
wanna
like
build-
sharing.
Do you want to build a Lego with me? And I was like, I don't even know how to build Legos.
But
Like,
sometimes
I've never built Legos in my life.
Sometimes she'd put it on the wrong piece. I'd be like, God damn it, babe. And I'd like
yeah.
take it and
I'd
like
be "Oop."
she'd be like, I don't know how to do it. I'm like, there's instructions right there. Like you just follow the instructions. So anyway, so yeah, like I met Alyssa like at the end of that hoe phase, and I was talking to my ex-girlfriend throughout that entire hoe phase because I was just like, well, just keep her on like backup. Like, and that's when I
It's like
realized
comforting.
well, that's when I realized that
Yeah.
I was the toxic one because she'd be like, no, like Joe, like I want to get back together with you. And I was like, and I was a shitty one. I was just like, no, it's not that I said that. I was just like, well, you're going to have to fix X, Y, and Z for me to get back together with you.
Damn.
So I told her she had to compete in a bodybuilding show.
What? You toxic fuck?
That's
Joseph.
fucked.
I was
terrible.
bad.
That's
I was bad.
fucked. You
Because-
haven't even competed yet.
At the time I was training for one and I was like, you got to do this with me. Like show me that you can like do something with me, like be
Did she
supportive.
even
like
go to
with
the
me.
gym?
Yeah, she
Oh,
worked out.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
she
okay,
worked out
okay.
and stuff.
Yeah,
Imagine
like a girl like that never trained before, never goes
She's
to the
a-
gym. Like,
Well-
yeah, you have to do this or I'm breaking up with your
okay,
ass
so
again.
so
Boot camp.
and that's why I realized like I was toxic at that
Joe
point.
Bro boot
And
camp.
I didn't and I was like she had already expressed interest in wanting to do it. And so I was like, well, I'm doing one, like just do it with me. She was like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, if you do this, like if you can show me that you'll do this, like because to me I was like, if I have to do your homework and I have to like feel like I'm
You
Yes,
wanted
babysitting
her
you,
to want to do something
Yeah.
for herself.
the intention was like, I want you to like do something for you and
Yeah.
like get your confidence up because mine's up really high. So like, I want you to get your confidence up. And so I was like, let's just do this together. And so, yeah, so she started prepping for it and like, it just ate on her mental for like 3 weeks. And I was like, I'm doing fucking fine. I was losing weight. I was looking good. Like, and then, for like my birthday when I turned 21, we took vodka to the gym and stuff like that. I hit back squat PR and I'm like taking shots, I'm being an
oh
idiot.
my god.
It's like one of the few times I drank ever in my life. Like I was finally legal and I had just gotten a fake ID before then, like a couple months before. And so I was like, no more fake ID, acting like I fucking went out and used it. This was all during COVID too. So like,
He's like, I
all
got a
the bars were
Costco
closed.
membership with my Vigo.
I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? And
You
so
gotta be 21 to get a Costco membership.
No, I just made that up.
Oh,
Okay.
that's fucking
He's like,
crazy.
how did I get one?
I wish I was 21 again, or 20.
and so yeah, she was like, she came to work out with us like for my birthday, and a few of my like close girlfriends had planned like a pool party for me. And I didn't invite her. I didn't invite my ex-girlfriend because I was like, well, all my hoes are gonna be there. Like,
Oh
I'm
my
not gonna fucking
God.
invite her.
He was like, I'm finna get caught up. on my
Yeah, no,
birthday.
facts. And so I was like, and I kept projecting that onto her. As I was just like, no, you're being like so insecure, like all this stuff. And I'm like, she just wants a relationship, and I just wanted to hoe around, but like I wanted I wanted the best of both. I was like, I want to be in a relationship
like
with you, but I
most
also like I
people
want to
do.
just kind of like do this.
Yeah.
And so then it was just like it just kind of kept going back and forth. And then I wasn't looking for a relationship. Alyssa wasn't looking for a relationship. We met each other and it was just like an instant click. And I was just like, and I was tired of like hooking up with people. And I think she was the same way. And so I was just like, okay. Like after that, I was just like literally from that first time meeting her, I was just like, I really enjoy spending time with her. And I was like, I just don't want to spend time with like anyone else. And so after that, I
Yeah.
pretty much just like cut everyone off. And then I was just like,
I feel like
I'm
that's
all
kind
in.
of how it worked for us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like we were both not looking for a relationship.
I feel like when you're not looking for it is when it comes. Cause I was
Yeah.
just like, bro, I'm so sick of my ex-girlfriend like doing this and that. Cause I threw a party for my birthday and obviously I had a bunch of girls over and I didn't invite her. And so my roommate was dating her roommate. And so,
She brought her.
so he was like, yo, it's boys night. And we like had a party and he was kind of sus too. He was cheating on his girlfriend too. But anyway, so that girl that he was cheating on her with came over and so he was like, yo, it's like boys night or whatever. And she's like, okay. And then she was like, she got suspicious about it because he wasn't answering his phone or something like that. So her and my ex-girlfriend
Show up.
drove by and there's just
Damn.
fucking girls partying.
There's
on
probably
her-
all these Toyota Camrys. They're like, boys, not my ass.
Yeah. Toyota Camrys. No, we were
No, it's
playing.
all about the Volkswagen Jettas.
No, I'm pretty sure we were playing strip pong on the balcony.
On the balcony?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Ew.
Well, there was a
Great
bunch of
time.
girls.
He went from
They were
Catholic to like freaking
I
Hugh
know.
Hefner. Like, what is happening?
Yikes! Yeah. Yeah, so
Oh my
I don't know if it was strip pong. We were playing beer pong on the balcony, but like they just saw a bunch of the girls up there, and then she called him, was like freaking out, and then obviously of course like I'm like making my ex-girlfriend feel, but I'm like, bro, just fucking few of my friends, like you gotta chill. You know what I mean? And I was like,
oh my God, gaslighting 101. Here we are, ladies.
Yeah, and so and then like when I finally like cut things off and like and then what happened is she was like, okay, well fuck you. There's like a few people at the gym that worked out at the gym that I could not stand, a few guys that I just hated. And she was
AKA me.
Mikey D.
Yeah. And so she was like hanging out with them and I got so fucking butthurt.
Got his karma.
I got so pissed and I was like going the fuck off. I was like, fuck you. Like, you know, I don't like those guys. Like, why the fuck are you hanging out with them? This and that. And she just did it to get back at me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, fuck you. And we were arguing about this. And one of my close friends went and was hanging out with her. One of like the girls that I was close with went and was hanging out with her. And I was like, bro, you fucking snake, you fucking betrayed me, this and that. And she was like, she's my friend, like my ex-girlfriend. She's like, your ex-girlfriend's my friend too. Yeah. And I was like, nah, like if you're either my friend or you're her friend, like you can't be both. Yeah. And so I started like doing that to kind of like all my friends. And I remember this happened, I think, was this the first time that we were hanging out? No, from the bar. I think it might have been the second time. We were hanging out at. I think it was
the second or the third.
We were hanging out at my friend Nate's house, and she was over with her friends. And I'm like texting. I'm like getting stressed about this, and I'm like sitting in the corner. And like she's like hanging out with Nate, and I remember she was just like giving me like RBF, and I was like, bro, now I got to deal with this now. And I was like,
I mean, at the time I was 21, so I was like, I don't have to fucking be here. I can be at the club with my friends. Like, I don't have a fake.
So she literally, I think she.
Wait, so you were with her?
I was hanging out with her, and I was not talking to my ex-girlfriend because my ex-girlfriend like was like throwing a party with like all those guys and like a few of my friends and I was just getting so pissed, and so I was like sitting there and I was like stressing over it, and I'm like trying to like text my friends, and I'm like, why the fuck are you there? Like freaking out about it. And Alyssa like texted me and she was like, if you're not gonna come hang out with me, I'll leave. And I was like, and then Nate texted me too, because I was just like sitting in the corner at his apartment. And Nate texted me and he's like, bro, you get off your phone and fucking spend time with people here. And I remember like I like looked up and I saw like Alyssa laughing with all of her friends, and I was like, I enjoy hanging out with Alyssa. And I was like, let me just put time into like doing this. So like I went and like turned it off, and then later that night she had come back to my place because like she was pissed at me, and I was like, fuck, I gotta go butter her back up. And then she came back over to my house, and she was like laying in bed next to me, and I remember my ex-girlfriend called me that night, and I remember like hearing my phone ring, and I like looked at it, and I was like, I like looked over at Alyssa, and I was like, yeah, fuck that. And I like fucking put it up, blocked her, never talked to her again. And that's when I had like Alyssa, and I was just like, all right, I'm going all in on this. Because like Alyssa wanted to spend time with me, and I was like, what's rare is a girl like wanting to be with me, wanting to spend time with me, looking the way that she looks, being super attractive. Like she wasn't my type, right? Because she wasn't blonde at the time. So, but I was like, fuck, like I dig her personality. Like I just like I love who she is as a person. And it was also like when we were at, you know, because I was so used to having to like play games. Like, all right, so I gotta like convince this girl to come over, like because I just genuinely like I would always take girls on dates. I had a steakhouse that I took all the girls to. Okay, in my defense,
they're probably like,
in my defense,
like,
I got a fat discount because I used to work at that steakhouse.
Oh, okay.
So my buddy would always hook it up, and he would get me drinks. Yeah. So yeah, and yeah, so you know, I really just went all in with Alyssa, and it's kind of history after that. And we both just kind of like clicked, and then from that point on, we didn't have like the normal relationship stuff of like having to cut people off or like anything like that or beating around the bush. Like literally that
kind of just like happened.
That night that we met and she put her hand on my leg, I was like, okay, she means business. She's not trying to play games.
Yeah.
Because I was the first time a girl had ever been confident enough to like make the first move, in my opinion. And so I was like, okay, so she means business. She's a bad bitch. Like she knows what she's about. And then I think right around the time she posted a bunch of bikini pictures for her birthday. This was your 21st birthday.
Yeah.
She posted a bunch of bikini pictures.
I think.
Yeah, she posted a bunch of bikini pictures, and I was like, damn. Like she's
confident.
And we were talking at the time. We were talking, and she posted those, and I was like, okay. And I was like, all right, bet. Like, and I was like, I like this because for me, like with what I had been through, I wanted like the bad bitch energy. Like I remember my roommate always used to tell Alyssa that he was because Alyssa would like ask about me, and Nate's like, Joe loves the bad bitch energy. Just keep doing like, just like be confident, like in you.
Yeah.
And that's what I've always like told her. And that's why she was like, you know, like I want to do an OnlyFans. I'm like, fuck yeah. Because that's a confidence thing.
Yeah, of course.
Right. And so like, I want to do a show. Fuck yeah. Do a show. Like whatever the fuck you want to do. Cause I like that. I love that confidence, that bad bitch energy.
Because you're confident now.
Yes.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And because I had that, like and even when I wasn't confident, that's what I wanted because that was like a certain social status for me. Right. Because like, you know, at soccer practice, all the guys are like, bro, look at my girlfriend. She's so hot, this and that. And it was like, damn. Yeah, bro, you're lucky. You know what I mean? It was like, and it was kind of because like if you pulled up a girl that like wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm talking to this girl. And it's like,
and then you're like, oh, there's a better photo in here.
Yeah, well because like that's how they were, especially because like I was
girls do that all the time.
Yeah.
Close to their friends are like,
photo.
Didn't you do that with your friends?
Yeah, they didn't. They were like, "Yo, he's not your type." Okay, so my
she was
type
into black
before,
guys.
No way.
Light skin.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
I was into like light skins and like Hispanic boys,
Okay.
and I literally was like, I would never date a white boy because they're so disgusting. And now look at me.
And he's melting Velveeta sliced cheese for queso.
Okay, shut the fuck
I
up.
still love you though.
Shut the fuck up. That queso's good. You ate it.
I'm
Not
from the
very much.
Midwest.
I wish I
too.
could have ate
She's like,
that.
I'll
Are
eat
you fucking
anything.
kidding me?
I'm literally from the Midwest, Joe. Like, please don't use my
She
taste
was
buds
born
as
on
like any
fucking
standard.
cheese and crackers.
Sorry, I'm not from Wisconsin making great queso. Damn. Yeah.
That was funny.
No, yeah. So, you know, I was just really attracted to her bad bitch energy for sure.
But I think because you were insecure before, like you didn't want that because
Okay,
now
but
you were confident.
there was even girls that like were a lot like bigger that I talked to that like were just like way out of kind of like that, but they had that energy.
Yeah. I
And,
feel like
like,
confidence is so important.
It is.
It's a make
Because
or
I
break.
feel like that's kind of what happened like in my last two relationships is I was insecure at one point and then like I finally hit this like really confident era and I'm like, okay, I need someone to like match that energy, you know?
you could literally pull that question of like she's a 6 but she's confident. It's like boom, she's a 10.
No,
Yeah,
1000%.
literally.
Like literally.
Yeah.
Confidence is key.
100%.
I mean, it's a feeling. No one knows if you're faking it or not. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, okay, so Alyssa has an OnlyFans, right? And I know that you've talked about starting one.
Yeah.
How would you feel if she did?
I mean, I have one.
He has
so
one too. He's like,
That's true.
collab.
Okay, but yours, I feel like it's different. Yours are a bunch of gay guys, right?
Well, yeah. Well, it doesn't bother me.
It doesn't matter. It's
Right,
Whatever
right.
you're
At the end of
into,
the day.
that's cool. Like if
Okay,
Yeah.
is there really that many guys that have like OnlyFans that have
My
a bunch
ex
of
has an
females?
No.
No,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
girls
so.
are like, oh my God, I want to see a dick.
Unless they're like,
I don't think they care.
actually, no. There is one guy that I know, and I followed him on TikTok before he created an OnlyFans account because he was like a nurse or something. And then I remember I was like on the For What You're Following, and I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? And I literally go on his thing, right? I click on it, and I was like, this guy used to be a nurse. Like, how is he posting shit like this? He literally had an OnlyFans account, and I'm pretty sure majority of it was like MILFs.
I was going to say like older women.
Okay,
Like,
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, like women in their like 40s or 50s.
Bro,
like,
okay, my
literally.
old roommate back home, he had a sugar mama that would like buy him like PlayStations and shoes and stuff like that. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, I want one. Please. Like I was like that, you know how nice that would be to just like, cause like even though
Oh, I had one. I know.
people always like do that with Alyssa and she's like, oh, shut up. And I'm like, fuck yeah.
No, it's
Get a
because I used
bag.
to have a sugar daddy, and it's just a lot of work.
It depends on what they want.
They gotta be a
though.
rich
Yeah.
sugar daddy.
Like the sugar daddy that I had, like I never met him. Like never met him a day in my life ever. But what did he want from me? He just honestly just wanted conversation. Like
Yeah.
it literally just started out as like, I mean, he was only like 45. Like it, and we didn't even like meet each other in that context. Like he had like gone to college that like where I had gone to college and we were just like talking about it a little bit. And then he was just like, what do your finances look like? At the time I had like just broken up with my ex-boyfriend. So like I was like on my own. And he was like, here's like 10 grand. And I'm like, okay.
What? 10 grand?
Yeah.
10,
Damn.
10.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He said,
Like
"Here you
1
go."
0
But like
0
he's
0
like
0.
he's like a millionaire, so like he had
He
the
didn't
money.
care.
That's
That's
fucking
chump change to
nice.
Yeah,
him.
like 10K. He was like, whatever,
Bruh,
Yeah.
babe, we need to get you a sugar daddy.
But
You know how
like you
nice that
can't
would
go
be?
looking for them. Like
Yeah,
I didn't
you
go. I
can't.
wasn't like I'm gonna get a sugar daddy today. Like it wasn't like it was just like a sugar daddy came looking for me, and I was like, all right.
He said, I'm a
She
daddy.
said, "Come
I'm a
here,
daddy."
come here,
sugar
papa."
moms, baby.
She's like, I got
No.
all this sugar.
Tell them the story about the guy in the suit on Verdeo Drive.
Oh my god. Okay, so Franzelli and I went to LA like
Uh-huh.
a month and a half ago. I don't remember it. And we're on Rodeo Drive, like shopping, right? And this guy is like in a suit, right? And he's like, he's 45. So I'm like, this guy's got money, right? And he like approaches us. I'm like, okay, he's approaching us like we're hot girls in their 20s. Like he's a sugar daddy, right? And he's like, hey, what's up? My name, he had an accent. His name was Cristiano. So I'm like, okay, this guy's definitely got money. So he's like, what are y'all doing? We're like, oh, we're looking for sunglasses. He's like, oh, I know a really great spot. And so Fran and I look at each other and we're like, okay, this guy's gonna buy some sunglasses, right?
Yeah.
So we like walk. Now we're both in heels, which I don't know why we thought that was a good idea, but anyways, we're walking in heels. We walk like a mile to this like sunglass place, and it's like super bougie. Like I was like, oh, I love it here. And he's like, all right, this is it. We're like, cool. And he was like, yeah, you mind if I get your numbers? Like maybe we can meet for dinner later. I'm like, this guy's not gonna buy his sunglasses.
like you made us fucking walk in heels.
Like we literally. So we were like so pissed, and I'm like, okay, maybe like. Princella's like, maybe he just like wants to take us to dinner, like get to know us more. I'm like, okay. She's like, give him your number. I'm like, all right, I'll take one for the team, whatever. So I give him my number, and we don't meet for dinner. I forget what happened. Maybe I fell asleep because I do that a lot. But then he like texted me the other day. I haven't talked to him since like LA, right? The sunglass thing. And he's like, hey Brooke. He was like, are you in the south of France? Like I think I just saw you. And I was like,
what the fuck?
Is he good?
And I'm like, yo, okay, block. Yeah. So no sunglasses, and now I got a weirdo in my shit. So
damn. R.I.P.
Yeah, that's why you do virtual sugar daddies.
Yeah. Virtual sugar daddies.
Yeah, because I won't do the meetup thing. Like I've had guys been like, oh, I want to go shopping at the Galleria. Like, no, I don't want to meet up with you, bro.
You're gonna wind up in the back of a Camry.
Yeah, like I'm not down for that.
Yeah. Just be like, I can. Yeah,
that's
sure.
valid.
Let me bring my boyfriend.
No, I had a guy who was like,
let me bring my
you can bring your
brother.
friends, you can bring your family, you can bring your boyfriend, like whatever makes you feel comfortable. But I was just like, nah. It's like, then you're gonna take me and my man. Like, we're good.
Dak comes. Dak's like, oh, I want this pair.
Every time we're like in a parking garage, she's like, I wish someone would try to kidnap me.
I literally was at like, I was literally by the Galleria, right? That's where we went to the mall, and like we went to this like crazy like rundown gas station. And there was like homeless people everywhere. Like literally, like I think I heard gunshots. Like literally, it was like gun store, liquor store, gun store, liquor store, gun store, liquor store. I was like, all right, I know where we're at.
Yeah.
So you have to pump your own gas.
Which he didn't know that was a thing.
Well, in New York, it's
in Jersey, they pump your gas.
So like I learned that as soon as I got here. But whatever. But like you had to go inside to pay first, and then it would like you'd be like, oh, pump $3.
Nothing is worse than when you insert your card, it says pay cashier.
That pisses me off because I'm like
so much anxiety. I'm
so,
like, seriously?
So I go inside and there's all these fucking weirdos in there, and then I get outside and like this guy starts asking me questions, and like I just like answer like whatever, and then I get back in my car and it was like her, myself, and like 2 of my friends. And then I was like, damn, I always had this fantasy in my head where someone tries jumping me and I just beat the living fuck out of them.
John Cena.
Like literally
multiple times.
Like it's a fantasy of mine.
Oh,
okay, have you ever gotten in like a big bar fight?
I've only been in one street fight in my life. In my whole life. I've trained for 10 years. I have 6 MMA fights. I'm a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I've literally only had one fight. Like
how did that go?
On the street. So like basically I was with my first ever girlfriend. And we were dating for like 3 years. We took a vacation to Cancun. And I love this story, actually. It's actually really entertaining. So we get bottles. And we're hanging out. We meet these guys from Nebraska out of anywhere. And like so we became friends with them. And like 2 other guys from New York. So like we're just hanging out. My girlfriend at the time was like, hey, can you go to we're on the dance floor. She's like, can you go to the table and grab me a drink real quick? I'm like, yeah, of course. So I go to the table, grab the drink. When I come back, there's this like big dude with like his arm wrapped around her neck and like trying to grind up on her. And she's like this, trying to get his hands off her throat.
Yeah.
And I like walk up like real quick. I'm like, run up. And I'm like, yo, what's good? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, is this your girl? Because I'm about to take her. I go, the only thing you're taking is, I look around like behind me, I just fucking blasted him in the face with a right hand. I was like, the only thing you're taking is this.
Was he lights out?
Dude, I've never like I've like dropped people in fights, but I've never dropped somebody like that ever. And like this is like 2018. Like I've only been training for maybe 4 years at the time. And I fucking blasted this dude with the right hand. He fell like a tree, like in this, like, dude, like, and he was with all his friends, and none of them trust fall grabbed him. Like, it was like almost like that type of fall.
Let him fall.
He needs new friends.
They just let him fall, and then they all just like, all of them just like blasted back. It was like slow motion. So I'm like, my hands are like technically registered, I guess you could call it, because like you have a card and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to Mexico's jail. So I'm like, fuck, I got to get out of here. So I grabbed my girl. And at this time, like, you could see all the security guards trying to grab me. Like, I had a guy, like, literally, like, this close, like, trying to grab my arm. And I ran out this bitch. So there's only one entrance and one exit. I guess, like, it's, like, one way.
Yeah.
Which is, like, a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
And then there's this, like, felt ropes that go, like, along the side of the building. If anybody wants to know what the club is, it's in Cancun. It's called Senor Frogs or Senior Frogs.
That's
Which is like a really
big,
popular.
that's a
it's
big
like really
popular
popular
thing.
thing. So like you can like fact check me. So like basically like I jumped over like this like felt rope, which is already like maybe like I don't know a foot tall, and then it was like a 7-foot drop down to the floor.
God.
This was like a movie. So
where's your girl?
We'll get to that.
Oh God!
So I jumped.
He pushed her.
I jumped first, right? And she's like, I can't do it. I'm like, fucking jump. So she jumps, right? And I catch her. And then she like lands on her ankle the wrong way and breaks her heel, fucks her ankle up. Like literally her ankle was like huge. So I literally, she couldn't walk, run, nothing. And I had police at this point, like coming after me. So I hold her like this in my arms. I don't know how, like my adrenaline was going so high. Cause like, I'm not going to jail. Fuck. So I hold her like this and I run to the nearest cab, which was like a Nissan Versa. And I literally throw her so hard in the back of the car. She hits her head like on the back of it. Cause I fucking, and then she's like, boom. She's like, my head. I'm like, you're good. So I get in the back. I pay the guy whatever it was. I think he was like, where are you going? I was like, I'm going to the Oasis. Bring me to the Oasis, like, which is the all-inclusive place we were at. So they bring us there. And I paid the guy $100, and then we just got fucked up the rest of the night and had a great time.
Damn.
But like I was
Even
like
with her
I was
ankle?
She probably
she
didn't
was
want to
good.
feel it.
She was good. She was good.
She was like fucked up for a while, like for like probably 3 months. Her ankle was fucked up bad.
Shit.
So I was like the fucking hero of that whole night though. Like all the guys from Nebraska, all the guys from New York, they all came back and they're like, bro, you're a fucking savage. Like you're a fucking savage. And I'm like, what's up, baby?
What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner.
So yeah, that's a great story.
Incredible.
At the time, it's always those stories in life or like moments in life where you're like, fuck, that are the best stories to talk about later.
Sure.
Literally.
Right? Like when I kicked Elon's door down, like fuck. At that time, I was really upset. And now I fucking laugh about it with him.
That's so funny.
Like I live in his
and
house.
now it's like a joke.
Like I live in his house. He doesn't even live there. Like I pay him rent and live in his 4-bedroom house.
Where does he live?
He has like an apartment. Like literally live at his house and pay rent.
It's true.
Huh.
And then she's over every day. So he makes fun of like, what is it, your roommate? Your other roommates here? You paying for the electric? So yeah, like it went from one thing to like the exact opposite. And I like take care of his dog and shit. It's like he can't have the dog in the apartment.
Dang. That's crazy.
But he, like I said, he's like a super introvert. He likes his own space, which is just totally cool.
Yeah,
like,
he's quiet.
Yeah.
But like
And
once
Mikey's like, I need human connection.
Yeah, like once you crack the code of Elon though, you're like, I fucking love this guy.
And if he really fucks with you, he really fucks with you.
Yeah. He's a rider for sure. Like I'll always love Elon no matter what.
That's
and we're
dope.
business partners, which is great.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So do you guys have any vacations or anything like that planned for the rest of the year?
Well, after your show.
So like I'm competing in October for summer shredding. And then we already planned it kind of. Like we want to go travel like a little bit, probably like somewhere in Europe. Right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like
exciting.
and then when I come home, I'm gonna like probably just go back to MMA and jiu-jitsu because this bodybuilding shit, it's actually really toxic. Like, yeah, because like I don't know, like I like training, I like lifting, but like now that I'm like really in it, like a lot of people are fucking fake, fake ass people.
That's why I don't like Alpha Land is like a high school. I feel like
yeah.
That's why I want to get
Like-
like a different gym membership
and like influencers in general. Like I feel like, and we talked about that a little bit when we did our video, and like we've talked about it before. Like people just like aren't genuine, you know, and it just sucks.
What would you say? What would you say made you feel that way? Was it being at Alpha Land? Was it meeting certain people? Or?
I wouldn't put it like a name or a atmosphere about it, like title, but it's just like if anyone should be the cockiest, it should be myself because I just got off a TV show, but I treat everybody the exact same. And that's like I came from hard beginnings. Like I've told all you guys this. Like I was a kid that was bullied so bad that I had to transfer schools 3 times. Like I was overweight, morbidly obese. Like I had nothing, you know, like I know what it feels like to not have friends. So like me having this physique now and me having this like hype behind me, like I don't give a fuck about the hype. I don't give a fuck about my physique. Like I'm literally just doing this to challenge my own mind. I'm not doing it for anybody else.
Yeah.
You know, because like I really am that type of guy where it's like if I'm in, I'm all in.
So you don't see yourself competing at multiple shows or doing any of that?
Who knows? Who knows?
Never know.
We'll see. I can't tell the future.
True.
But as of right now, like I don't know. This might be my like prep mind talking, where it's like I'm eating like 2,000 calories, 2,500 calories a day, and training a lot, and like putting my body through like some shit. But like it might just be how my brain is like wired right now. But like. It's just so much more fun to like choke people. like it is so much fun. Like to like really just manhandle the fuck out of somebody, and like it's totally illegal. This is amazing.
Yeah,
I like that. That's
I mean,
fun.
I don't know. For some people, like for me, when I was bodybuilding, I got like a high off of it.
Yeah, no. Like some days I go to the gym and I'm like, I cannot wait to go lift and like feel that pump, right?
Okay, but having that goal in mind of like, okay, I need to get here by like this time, like having that goal in mind does help you like fucking, it helps you zone in on the gym more, because you've even talked about doing a show at one point.
Yeah, I just feel like when people like you said, like it gives you something to work towards. Like if you just like going to the gym to go to the gym, I feel like people like really easily and quickly like hit a plateau.
I think that you can get over that though by just having a great group of friends that you go train with.
1,000%.
And that like, and even with like Alyssa and I did, like here's the thing, I think that people take fitness way too seriously. I think that like it's your journey. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
For sure.
And so I kept telling Alyssa, I was like, bro, like let's start going to like F45. Let's like do some like fun stuff again.
Yeah.
Like yeah, we can do the bodybuilding, the aesthetic part of it, but like if you want to be strong and you want to fucking squat, like who the fuck cares?
Yeah,
like,
but it's like, why are you going? You know?
Yeah,
like I feel like for me, going to the gym is like my mental. You know?
Yeah, so
like
you
I'm
can
like zoned in, like not worried about anything else, like stress reliever, all that good stuff. So I feel like for me, I don't need like a show or anything to like go to the gym, because for me it like helps me in that way. I also feel like I have such like a great relationship with food and the gym in general that like I think a bodybuilding show would like distort that.
Yeah.
And I could totally relate to that, because like I was eating less calories before I started tracking my macros. And then as soon as I start tracking it, I'm eating 500 calories, roughly 500 calories more. And I feel more hungry because I know exactly what I'm eating to the T.
Yeah.
When I was eating like 2,100 calories and then training even harder and feeling better. Yeah. Like it's just like it's a mental war. It's a mental warfare. It really is. And like I'm so excited to be doing this, because I really wanted to put myself in that realm of like because I said like a few months ago, I was like, yo, bodybuilding is the easiest sport in the world. You fucking just eat whatever. Like I've cut 28 pounds in 11 days. Like I know how to fucking cut weight, right? But it's not the how fast you could lose the weight. It's how fast you could lose the weight, but keep size. That's where it gets tricky. That's where it gets like hard. Yeah. So it's like, I'm eating 2,500 calories, but I'm not losing weight. And so I'll go to my coach. Okay, I'm not losing weight. Well, he's like, well, you have muscle. Like, do you feel lean in the morning? I'm like, yes, I feel great. He's like, okay, well, this is where we want to be. You know,
it really is a mind fuck.
It is.
Like it's a mind fuck. Like I was just so freaked out when I did like my last check, and I was like, bro, I feel like I've been cutting for like 10 weeks and I feel like literally, I don't look any different. I've dropped 16 pounds when I compare the two pictures. Oh my God. And like, dude, people see me at the gym and everyone's like, you look so much leaner. Like, we're our are you cutting and this and that? But also like throughout that time of that cut, like I've taken it like 50% serious. Like some days I'm just like, oh, fuck it. Like I want to eat this. And that's the relation, like, cause it's about overall consistency, but I've been a lot happier by just being like, okay, I want to keep myself disciplined for the fact that I need to stay disciplined. I need to not just let myself have anything and everything that I put my mind on or anything like that. So I need to stay disciplined, but at the same time too, it's okay. It's fucking food. Yeah. It's fucking food.
That's
like
why
if
I like
you're
it
at
as like a lifestyle versus like a sport.
If you're like, unless you're in prep, if you're at a social event and you want to fucking drink and get trashed, who the fuck cares? Yeah. Who the fuck cares? You want to eat drunk tacos? Who the fuck cares?
I'll give you an example. So like the best MMA fights I ever had and I've ever like did it, like amazing performances were because I cared less. When I quit my job and just went all in on MMA and like had the strength and conditioning coach and had this guy doing my meal plan and having this person do like, that's when I had my worst performances because it was just like, this is all or nothing. So it put extra pressure on my head.
Yeah.
But the best performance I ever had was like when I was literally going out on the weekends, drinking alcohol, getting fucked up, doing X, Y, and Z, going the next morning, sparring 8-minute rounds, no problem. Like, but that was when I was like 26. You know, I don't know if it's an age thing, but the less I cared, the better I did.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
Yeah, I feel like your
agree on
physique
that.
looked really great when you moved.
Oh my
here,
God.
and
when
you didn't even care.
And I didn't even care because I was like literally
Yeah.
just like, because my coach put me through a surplus because he's like, we have to put some size on first and then we're going to have to slowly taper you down. So like I'm tracking everything I eat and I put in my mouth, but I'm losing my abs. Like that made no sense to me. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
He's
He's like,
mind fuck.
yeah, it really is a mind fuck. Cause like you're struggling because you can't go out, you can't drink, you can't do this, you can't do X, Y, and Z with that a normal person was doing or what I was doing. And I was still fucking dick skin shredded.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm like on this program, I'm dieting, I'm doing everything correctly. I'm eating 1 gram of sugar a day, but I'm losing my abs. Like, what the fuck?
It becomes like a stressor on your body. So like you're taking out different types of stress, but then you're adding a stress to your body because it's like a mental thing of that you can't eat off of this or you can't have this, and that. And it becomes a stress on your body.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to Caroline about this earlier because I was telling her, I was like, man, you know, I miss the time where I didn't know what the fuck macros were. Where I could literally go out to eat. I could eat whatever I wanted. Now, if I eat something, I'm like, damn, I feel guilty because I'm like, that probably has like this much calories or in
Is
there,
it
this
the
much
stress
carbs.
of knowing that you know better now and you know what you should do, and so then when you do it, what you do the opposite, you're like, damn, I know better. I know I shouldn't have done that, right?
Yeah.
It's like being like, oh, okay, like you know, like I'm a teacher or something like that. I know I shouldn't cheat on my test, and then you do it, just adds that extra level of guilt onto it. You know what I mean? So
shit, I'm cheating on that fucking test.
Yeah,
I don't give a
but
fuck.
you know, that was something that our followers asked us that they wanted us to talk about was, you know, eating and socializing around food and drinking and going out and stuff like that. And I think that you really just do have to have like a fine balance. Like for us, as soon as fucking November hits, it's Christmas mode. And that means that if I see something fucking peppermint and I fucking want it, I'm eating it. I'm eating it. I don't give a fuck. I'm not tracking my cookies. I'm not doing this and that because it's the fucking holidays. Am I going to eat? And I think you just have to find a balance. Do you need to eat 10 cookies? No. So discipline yourself. Have one. I promise you, one
Have
cookie
5.
does not. Yeah,
Have 2.
It doesn't make.
You're going down. I'm going. Have 7.
It doesn't make that big of a difference, in my opinion. And I think that if you just keep all your other ducks in a row, if you're still actively working out, and if you're like, okay, I know that I'm going to be consuming more food, and you're really worried about it, just start doing cardio every day.
Yeah.
And it's not as like, oh, I ate this, so I need to burn it off. It's like, no, just expend more calories so you have more room to eat more calories, and then that way you don't have the negative side effects of it, right? So it is kind of like, okay, I ate pizza last night, so I'm gonna wake up and do cardio. It's like, it's not for the fact of like punishing yourself. It's for the fact of just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna expend more calories because I ate more calories.
Yeah.
I think you just got to look at it in that mindset.
But I feel like the more restrictive you are, the more likely you are to like go on a binge.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like I eat healthy. Like I'm not on prep, but I eat the same thing as him every day. Am I counting my macros? No. But like I feel like my physique, like I'm really confident. And I'm like, oh my God, why don't I look like this? Why don't I look like this? But like Felicia's like, let's go grab tacos. Like I'd be like, all right, I'm down. Let's go grab market. Okay, I'm down. You know, like I feel like everything's good in moderation.
Exactly.
And like it's a lifestyle. And like the only way you can sustain that is like if you create like that healthy.
So what
balance.
I really like doing is I like eating less food earlier in the day and throughout the day, and then at the end of the night
That is
I eat
me
all
too.
of my food. I eat all my food because I can keep myself distracted during the day.
Yeah.
I love going to bed
you know.
full. Like that's like a euphoric feeling.
Yeah.
I mean,
I pass the
different,
fuck out.
Going to
I
bed
love it.
full, like, because a lot of people like having all their food like earlier in the day, and then I remember hearing like prep horror stories, like people being like, dinner's like cucumbers, and they're just like going to bed hungry, and they're tossing and turning all night because they're hungry. Because they're hungry, and I'm like, bro, I could not do that.
Yeah.
Like, I have to save my food for the end of the day. So like, even when we were in prep, the few carbs that we had were sweet potatoes. And that was like end of the day. Sweet potatoes was like the reward, you know, coming home. And it's like, how late can I eat these sweet potatoes? So that way I can just go to bed right after.
What was her like? Because I feel like I'm eating like a dog, right? So I'm eating the same thing every day in a measured amount. So like, what was your like prep? Like
okay,
go-to
so my
because
first,
I feel like when you track it on MyFitnessPal, it's so much easier when you just already have like, okay, 200 grams of this, 100 grams of this, because it's already preset.
You already know what you need, yeah.
So it's just like, instead of me finding like, what brand is this? Okay, the label won't scan. Well, fuck. Well, is it in grams? Oh shit, they only have it in ounces. Like, fuck. Like, you know.
Learning to track your macros is a process. I think people make it
good.
I think people try and make it so. I think people try and make it so. Make it seem so easy, and it's like, oh, just track your macros. It's like, bro, if you don't know and you don't know like the nutritional side of things, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough.
Like if you're really into it, you can't go to Chipotle because you don't even know. Like, okay, yeah, you could just type in, okay, Chipotle, this is what I ate. You don't know exactly how much chicken
you got to be able to like, you got to be good at eyeballing an ounce and like,
exactly.
What does this look like?
You don't know what kind of oil, what kind of oil they cooked it in. Like, you don't know none of that. So the best way to do it is make your own food, okay, and then just use food that has like that's checked.
So my first prep when I met Alyssa, my breakfast was like frozen potatoes with like ground turkey, and I think I did like fat-free cheese. And I just ate the same thing because it was pancakes, but then when I started losing my carbs, those pancakes went away, and he wanted me to eat eggs, but we
literally were talking about that in our video.
So I was like, okay, I need protein and I need a little bit of carbs because it was like eggs and toast is what he wanted me to eat, egg whites or whatever. And so I was like, eggs. Okay. So I was like, all right. So I just did like 96, 96.4 turkey. And then I did like potatoes and stuff. And all my other meals were, when I had carbs, was like spinach, rice, and chicken with coconut oil, and then just
for your fat,
and then just a sugar-free sauce.
Because you didn't want a whole egg.
Yeah, and then just a sugar-free sauce. And he wanted us eating coconut oil because coconut oil's got some good research that links it to burning fat, or like helping to like burn fat from just the type of fat that it is. So he was like, okay, your only fat source is going to be coconut oil. And like, I was getting fucking peeled. Like that first show, I was so lean and peeled. Like I was like show ready probably like 6 weeks out, and he was like more. And I just started pulling muscle off because we were taking in-body scans, and like my muscle mass was just going down each time. And I was like, bro, this is depressing. Like I was just getting smaller because then he put us on keto. And so we did keto for like 2 weeks. He's like, we're going to pull the last little bit off you. We're going to go keto.
I feel like the only time you should do that is like the week of, right?
Yeah, and it's not even keto. You just decrease your carbs. You don't go keto. Like we had 0 carbs. Like our carbs were Brussels sprouts.
No way.
Brussels sprouts, chicken, coconut oil.
Spinach. Ew, I hate spinach.
And spinach.
You guys had the same coach at the same time?
No, I had a different coach.
No, this was a different coach. But then the second time when we both prepped, we did tracking our macros, and it wasn't as bad, but having more freedom fucking sucks.
It sucked for him. I was more disciplined.
What, like not having a meal plan versus just having macros?
So for me, I feel like I'm a little bit more successful if, like, let's just say every week that meal plan changes just a little bit, right? Yeah. One meal just has to change for me. That's fine. But it makes my life easier if I only eat the same thing and I don't have to stress about it, because I will overcomplicate my macros.
I feel like that's why you've narrowed it down.
I eat the same
if you eat the same thing
every single day, and I eat it with pleasure, bro.
And after a while, you get used to it, and you just add seasonings, and you get good, like. And when I was on a meal plan, I was forced to eat that. Like forced in the sense of like, you got to eat this. And I didn't know any different. I didn't know any better. So that was easier for me. Like it did kind of fuck with my head a little bit. But like if I had a meal plan, like now if I did a prep, I'd be like, okay, I want to have a meal plan. And I can make that meal plan myself. And every week I just sit down and say, okay, here's all my stuff. Here's my macros for the week.
It's easier that way.
This is exactly what I'm going to eat. And then when those macros change, okay, now I lost my rice, so I'm going to switch to sweet potato. And then I just run that for a week. And then I just do like week-long meal plans basically at a time. I think would probably be the route that I would go now, because Alyssa and I, when we were in our prep, we were trying to make like all sorts of shit fit our macros all the time.
And it was just like too much.
It became complicated and stressful. And then also like we would binge on last call burritos, which, okay, let me describe these for you. These are fucking amazing.
No, he's in prep.
Okay.
He loves that. Actually, he makes me watch these weird ass shows where they make food. He's like, oh, I'm getting so hard.
So have you ever had a Cali burrito? Have you ever had a Cali burrito before?
No.
Okay, so in New Mexico they have this one, and they didn't put beans in it, which is fucking amazing because that's disgusting. But
beans in a burrito? I thought that was like a staple.
No, this is a Cali burrito.
Okay.
So a Cali burrito has like either chicken, pollo asada, or carne asada. No. Yeah. Okay.
He said it so white.
He said pollo.
Polo asada.
Polo asada, yeah. So carne, and then it's usually like French fries, and then they'll put like cheese.
What?
And then they'll put like a Mexican cream, and then like a chipotle aioli sauce. Mm-hmm. and then they'll wrap it up in this massive burrito. And so you take a bite
so
and it's just
fire.
oozing. It's so good. It's
Wait, is that kind of
drunk
what you
food.
make now, but like healthier? Because I feel like you eat like, I see your stories. You have like ground beef and like a sauce or something.
No. I mean, it's ground beef and spicy ranch. Is pretty
Okay.
much what it is. But one time, I think at Nate's, one time we made it, and it's like you got to take like we could totally make it sometime, and honestly, we should. You just get like you just make a chipotle aioli, right? And
which is not that hard.
Which is not that hard.
It's mayo, lime juice. Don't ask me how I know this. And chipotles, like the peppers.
Okay, yeah.
That's
See,
it.
it's not that
very,
bad.
Very easy.
You can also just get chipotle ranch from like the store.
Yeah, you
It's
can
not
buy
the
it already
same.
made.
It's not the
same.
It's not the same though.
You need that
Come
like
on, chef.
yeah, you need that little spice out of the seeds and those little peppers.
Okay. So we'll
Peppers.
make it. We'll make it. But then you just basically take your French fries and your steak and you put it in a big old tortilla and you just cover it in the sauce and then you wrap it up. It's like we get it from this place in New Mexico and it is, I kid you not, I think it's some of the best food I've ever eaten. And I went
Damn,
to
now I want
California
some.
and I
So
tried
good.
getting a burrito there. Not the same.
the
And
same.
everyone's
No
like, bro,
way.
these burritos are so good. I'm like, nope, not as
So
good.
you have
as
to
the
get
one
it in
in
New
Mexico.
Mexico, but
And
it's
it's-
called a Cali burrito.
It's called the place that's called is
Last Call.
and it's they used to just put it next to bars and it was drunk
Oh,
food.
that's smart.
They would
it
make
definitely is
bank.
a
Talk
bar
about
food.
marketing.
They would make bank. When I was in
Wow.
college, I used to go pick up like at one point I would get fries and a burrito, so loaded fries and a burrito, like big old thing.
Oh
like,
my
I'm
God.
talking like 5,000 calories here.
Ah,
Literally.
And I would get this. I would go
I'm getting
home.
bricked up right now.
I would go home. I would smoke a fat bowl. I would get high as fuck, and I would just down it because when I'm high, I have no limit in my
either.
stomach. I have no limit in my
Me either.
stomach. Like I have
And you don't even feel like you're eating.
yeah.
exactly.
Like I don't really do like, I don't smoke or anything, but I remember like in January or February, friends like came over and she was like, I have edibles. I'm like, all right. And she also brought me Girl Scout cookies and I had 2 boxes and like I have indigestion and I'm like, how did I finish those boxes?
Bro,
of
when I
cookies?
went to my
Like-
sister's in Denver, and in Denver they got good fucking
Oh, of
weed,
course you
So like
do.
my sister was like, this is like one of the first times I like took edibles, and so I remember one time, my stepsister was like, or not my sister-in-law was like, she was like, have you ever hit a bong before? And I was like, no, and she's like, all right, let's try it. And I did, and I like did it a little bit, and I was like, okay, I think she's like, you didn't even fucking inhale it, like inhale it. I was coughing for like 10 minutes for one.
That's the
and
worst.
Then I was
That's why I don't like smoking.
That's
I
when you
was
know it's good
I was so high that like I lost track of time and also like reality and space. Like I was sitting on the couch and I was like, where the fuck am I? And like everything, like it just felt like the movie that we were watching was like lasted forever. And my sister, like she does it so often that
It,
she
like,
can
didn't
like
even phase
function.
her, yeah.
But I was like sitting there and I would just like start randomly laughing. I'd be like, this is so funny. And she's just like look over to me and then I'd just like zone out and I'd be like, and I kept forgetting if I had eaten.
No,
I'd be-
I forget if I
Yeah.
that I took
no,
it.
so like
Yeah.
I ate a full thing of Indian food. And then I was like, bro, I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten. She was like, you just ate. And I was like, no, I didn't. And I ate like 6 servings and
Here
I
comes the
felt
gaslighting
so
again.
sick. I felt so sick. It was horrible.
Oh my God.
It was so good though. It was horrible.
You ever done a dab?
yeah,
Not like
a little
this,
bit,
not
a little.
dab like this.
No,
He's like
a
one
little bit in California we did once.
I did a dab one
my
time
buddy-
and I literally fell into another planet.
Yeah.
I thought I was like,
Have you ever done like anything else, like shrooms or anything?
No, but we got psychedelic or like psychedelic mushroom gummy things.
Okay.
That our coach was like, hey, you should try these because it helps a lot with like anxiety and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I think I took one time, and I think that knowing that I took it, I was like, oh my God, and I was like waiting for like something to hit, and so then I kept getting
Like
nervous.
the
I was gonna get high,
anticipation.
but I just got a little bit more focused. And so then I was like, oh my God, these things are amazing. But there's like a whole cycle you have to go on. It's like 1 day on, 2 days off, 1 day on, 2 days off. Like, and then you're supposed to like meditate and stuff
Oh,
because you
like
have to put your
consistently do it?
yeah, and you have to
Oh,
put
okay.
yourself in a good headspace to like
Yeah,
be able
because
to
it's
get
just
the
gonna
benefits from it.
amplify.
It's gonna amplify everything that you're currently
Yeah.
doing. So I have a whole thing of them. We just haven't touched them. Like I literally got them, and we were gonna start taking them to help our anxiety. But then like I don't know, we were just like, all right, let's just not be anxious anymore. And that's literally just kind of what
Yeah.
happened.
You just choose.
That was anxiety to me is a little bit of a choice. Almost in a sense, you because anxiety is choosing to worry about things that you don't know the outcome of. So yeah, anyway, but wow, we lost track of time. I didn't realize how
Wait, did we
fucking
take the edibles before this?
shit. No, that was such a good pod though. Damn,
Yeah,
that was so much
really
fun.
good.
I
Those
feel
are
like we
good
covered a lot.
topics.
Yeah, this is a long one. This is gonna be fun now. But
yeah, but we talk a lot, and you talk.
I don't shut up. You got to tell me.
No,
I try to, and you're just like, anyways. Well, and I'm just like, okay.
It's all right.
Do your thing.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We had a blast.
Thanks for joining us.
You would think
Thanks
that
for
we've known
having
each other
us.
for so long, but it's probably been like. What,
I feel like
a
we
month
click
and a
as
half?
like a friend group.
Yeah.
I feel like we're like all kind of similar in ways.
Wait, are we doing game night?
Yeah,
We
I'm
should. We
down.
should do game night once a week. We
Once
were
a
talking
week.
about
I'm
that.
so down.
Let's do
Game
it
night was
tonight.
so much fun.
Right now.
I mean, fuck it, we can. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys don't know, Dak here has his own clothing brand, Fitness Meets Designer, Calculated Chaos. You guys can shop some of those items. Oh yeah, he's wearing the hat. I was like looking at your shirt. I was like, damn, he's not wearing it. But Calculated Chaos, it's awesome, high quality stuff. And then as you guys know, you guys can shop Zephyr to support me directly. Code joeebro, and they have like some of the best cargo joggers and everything. And then to support Alyssa and I and our podcast as well, Inaka Power and Inaka Subs. We're both wearing the shirts. You know, we always match every time.
Yeah.
But Inaka Subs, the greens are going to be dropping on Saturday, August 20th, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you snag those. Those are amazing. You guys are about to do a taste test.
I'm excited.
They're literally so good.
fire.
They're so good.
I feel like greens is such like a hard supplement to nail too.
That's what. Yeah.
No, like, and
These-
we're gonna have you taste test
Don't
a couple other types of greens,
Okay.
so that way you can we're just gonna blind them and just like you just tell us your favorite,
Okay.
and we're gonna see which one. That way we get
Yeah.
like a raw organic,
Taste
Like
test.
taste
genuine
test.
honest.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So, other than that, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to thumbs up, leave a comment. We're also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well.
Yes.
And if you guys are on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, do us a favor, leave us a review.
Mhm.
That helps our podcast move up a couple ranks a little bit as well. And our goal by the end of the year is 1,000 subscribers. And our goal is to get to 1,000 followers on Instagram. I think that we're pretty close to the one on
we're close,
Instagram.
yeah.
But the goal is 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So we're going to be knocking out 2 podcasts a
A
week
week.
until the rest of the year.
Yes.
Amazing.
Hopefully we can get there in time. So
Mhm.
we'll definitely have you guys back on the show. We'll talk more shit about everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
We have to take what we have to do is we have to take a big group trip and then do a group podcast after.
Oh god.
That'll be so fun.
That'd be
we'll
so
do
much
like
fun.
edibles and should be like, wait, you experienced it that way?
Yeah, that'll be fun. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you. Bye.